I'm a fish boy who skates for Team X Blades with a leprechaun who plays basketball. Come to my smart house, meet my alien sister. Don't come hungry because I'll bet my mom can't cook.
Hello, is this thing on? Yes, I'm getting bars. It seems to be recording. Hello, everyone. This is Mom Can't Cook, a decom podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Andy Farrant.
Hi, I'm the other host, Luke Westaway, and we're broadcasting to you from a forest in, I think, Europe or
these seem like European evergreen trees. The reason we seem disconcerted this week, listeners, is that we did accidentally fall through a time hole just before we started recording.
Yes.
We appear to be, I think, somewhere in medieval England, perhaps. The King's Hunt just passed by. We were able to conceal ourselves among the bushes. But don't worry. When we fell through the time hole, we had our laptops and microphones and audio mixers, and they're just working with no problems for some reason.
Okay. I see a passing nobleman. I'm going to try and astonish him and win my place at court.
Okay, Luke's going over to the nobleman now.
Hey, you there?
He's been pierced with a spear.
Wait, no, look.
Oh
wait.
No! Okay, he's being arrested for hunting on the king's land.
No, I wasn't. Please.
He's being dragged away.
Please.
Okay.
You want to see my Zoom recorder? No, I don't know how it works.
Okay, so it's going to be a solo podcast. Oh no, he's coming back. Hey, Luke.
Hello.
You all right? What happened there? You appear to be missing your hands.
I used modern medicine to heal my wounds. I simply ate an antibacterial leaf that I found, which is the kind of thing that I could do because I have all of the knowledge.
You're a modern man with all of the knowledge of the accumulated scientific and sort of practical engineering knowledge of human society up to this point.
Yep. So there's absolutely nothing that the medieval world can do to faze me.
So which of these leaves should I eat to be healed? Which one?
This one, the antibacterial one.
Okay, I'll just eat that. Oh no.
A munch of that.
I appear to have broken out in roiling hives.
Oh no, Andy's died. Maybe the pox wants to know how his headphones work. Well, we don't know.
We seem uniquely unsuited to being in the medieval times.
Yeah, but I tell you who isn't.
Who's that?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah.
EGOT winning with Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, yeah. Because today we're recapping the ABC Disney... What was it called again?
It's a Wonderful World of Disney.
Wonderful World of Disney on ABC. The movie is called A Night in Camelot.
It's from 1998. Yeah. So before Whoopi completed the full EGOT. She was most of the way.
This isn't the kind of thing you do post-EGOT, is it?
No.
The kind of thing you regret post-EGOT.
Yeah. Yes, and it is a sort of loose adaptation of Mark Twain's novel, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court from 1889.
Yeah, which is that classic bit of fiction. What would happen if a modern person went back in time? Mm-hmm. How would they amaze and delight the people of the era with their modern knowledge and contraptions? However,
although have you read A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court?
I haven't. No, I read like bits and pieces of it on Wikipedia for this, but no. Have you read it?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
He shoots like 9 people with a revolver.
What? Why?
And then he invents the Gatling gun and has like all of his like secret army mow down the armies of Britain. And
oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay,
pretty good.
Was this like Mark Twain's day off or something? Was Mark Twain like, you know what, I'm sick of writing great American novels. I think this time, oh yeah, he went back in time and they had swords and they were like, we'll get you with our swords. And he was like, no chance, mate. I've got a Gatling gun.
I remember someone at my primary school writing. We had to write like a short story when we were like, I don't know, 8 or something.
Yeah.
And one of my friend's stories was he got sucked into the plug hole of his bath.
Okay,
but
good so far.
His dad was in the army and he'd left his Uzi by the bath. And so as he was getting sucked into the plug hole, he was able to grab his dad's Uzi. And then he just went into a magical bathtub world and shot everyone.
Just Uzi.
That's the Mark Twain equivalent of that. I don't even think they give you Uzis in the army.
Why did his dad have his Uzi by the bath?
He didn't want to take it into the bath to get all wet.
Is it because in the bath, obviously, you're quite undefended, aren't you? You're quite vulnerable. It's quite vulnerable to be in the bath, so it might be quite good to sort of sit there with an Uzi pointed at the door.
Yeah, if America's enemies were to burst in the door.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be like, nice try, America's enemies. Uzi 9mm.
Get Uzi'd.
Get Uzi'd.
Okay, luckily though, this film, A Night in Camelot, spends its first 40 minutes sort of lightly remaking this story. Oh, what if a modern scientist were to go back in time? How would they amaze and delight the court of King Arthur? And then decides that it doesn't want to do that anymore and does something else.
Something else.
I don't know.
So, very little happens in this film, which is odd considering it's about someone falling through a time hole to the court of King Arthur.
It has gigantic pacing issues, like, and sort of plotting issues. It's the last half an hour is absolutely unhinged. I can't believe it. That said, I did enjoy watching this film quite a lot, and I think it is extremely, and maybe even unfairly elevated by the presence of a huge amount of British acting royalty.
Oh, yeah.
Of like stage and screen. There are so many iconic British actors of like yesteryear demeaning themselves in this one.
And then there's like Whoopi Goldberg twerking to a boombox while these sort of dignified BAFTA members all stand around going, oh dear. Oh, I wish I'd saved my money from Yes Minister.
That said, it is quite satisfying. Like whenever Whoopi Goldberg's not talking, it's like super good and enjoyable.
It's like a rich Arthurian drama.
Yeah, and with an incredible cast, and increasingly Whoopi Goldberg's character is kind of sidelined. So you'll get
so
whole
as they were making it, they realised she was the worst thing in it.
You'll get whole stretches of the movie that is just like British RSC titans.
Yeah, it's
just
like
sort of King Arthur Lancelotting and Guinevering at each other. It's brilliant.
It's like 90s Game of Thrones with like some of the greatest Shakespearean actors of a generation.
Yes.
And then Whoopi Goldberg will be like, raise the roof, y'all.
And then Whoopi Goldberg will be like, hey, what if I do a sort of problematic pastiche of Kung Fu? Would that be anything?
All right, well, let's hear the trailer and then we can get into it.
Next Sunday, it's a premiere movie event when Whoopi Goldberg goes back in time.
Ow!
Now, history
Behold, Camelot. You poke me with that thing again, I'm gonna hurt you.
will be a thing of the past.
Right on. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's a thing.
Whoopi Goldberg, A Night in Camelot, ABC next Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
So, did that make you want to watch the film?
I don't know, probably not, but I have done anyway. So let's talk about it. So this film opens with the song "She Blinded Me with Science" by Thomas Dolby, which I unironically love. So I'm already.
So that's
good.
That's a plus point.
Yeah.
Well, these like Disney Channel, ABC, Wonderful World of Disney ones. They were a bit more weapons free with the music licensing, weren't they? There's quite a few licensed songs in this that aren't Demi Lovato or whatever.
But also, this film hasn't made it to Disney Plus.
No.
So presumably that's the reason they don't want to pay Thomas Dolby any money. So it is a problem for like its longevity.
I think the main reason is that they've forgotten they made it, which is also why you can.
Oh, and it's bad as well.
Yeah, which is why, like at the time of recording, you can find it on YouTube, for example. Like I think Disney doesn't know it did this one, or it probably would have stopped that.
Stopped it being on YouTube. Yeah. But yeah, we are presented with what we're meant to understand is a science laboratory.
Yes.
And the way that they convey this information is with a load of sort of props from one of those toy stores you get in the mall for like men. It's like the man's toy store. You can buy a plasma ball and a toy train and a lava lamp and one of those drinky birds.
Gifts for your uncle and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like a laboratory that's researching desk toys.
Yeah.
Like coming up with new, like a Willy Wonka factory, but for desk toys. We see a fish tank with plastic fish jiggling around, a lava lamp, a sort of Newton's cradle adjacent object. That nodding bird.
Mm-hmm. A model of the solar system.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud at this point because they're showing the science lab and then the credit comes up on screen featuring Ian Richardson as Merlin.
Ian
very good.
Richardson from House of Cards, the original House of Cards.
Yeah.
He's he's
Almost more importantly, his dad invented the Jaffa cake, apparently.
No. Really?
Yeah, you can tell how invested I was in this film that I was researching
Yeah.
Jaffa cake heir Ian Richardson already.
Oh my gosh, I was second screening this one aggressively hard. Yeah. Well, I'm a bit of a, I suppose I should probably disclose this now because it is shameful. I'm actually a bit of a sucker for Arthurian stuff.
Right.
I kind of love it.
Okay.
I'm on a bit of a Arthurian kick at the moment.
Okay.
As I read a novel called The Bright Sword, which is very fun. It's kind of like modern interpretation of the Arthurian myth. And then I read a load of Arthurian myths. So I'm kind of into it.
Okay.
Which made this film a lot more enjoyable in places and then a lot less enjoyable in other places.
In other places.
Like the bit where they have King Arthur, the respected and kind, benevolent leader, sort of spooning with his dog.
Well, there's some pretty deep Arthurian lore in here. One of the major characters of the film is Sagramore.
Yes.
Who is a sort of character from medieval and Renaissance literature who doesn't really appear in most versions of the Arthurian, almost like mainstream contemporary versions of the Arthurian legend.
Yeah, yeah.
And yet here he is going around the place being all Sagramore.
But here he is, dallying around. Well, he's the baddie, so I guess they didn't want to
have any of the good ones be the baddie. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want to sully the reputation of Palamedes or
Galahad.
Galahad, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So a computer bleeps and it says, all 16 billion theoretical outcomes have now been calculated, Dr. Vivian Morgan. This is Whoopi Goldberg, who's asleep and groggily wakes to this computer news.
Yeah. So she sort of stumbles over and has a look at it. The computer starts bollocking her as she runs over.
Yeah, I know you're there. I've not been running these calculations all night for nothing, says the computer.
So she's also got like a sentient computer. But don't worry, because we're going to literally be in the present era for about 90 seconds.
Yeah.
This film really clips along. So she laughs delighted as on screen we see the words, the Kablooey Project, solution verified. Potential for gravity isolation is at 100%. Come on, Nobel Prize. She whoops excitedly.
Do you think the Kablooey Project was Oppenheimer's original working name?
The Kablooey. Yeah,
it's not a great start to call it that, but it seems we're not really told. Well, we are told, but it doesn't mean anything what they say she's working on. Something to do with gravity particles. She's basically trying to discover the graviton, like they were in the Decom Genius.
Yeah, oh my god, it's hardcore BS. The science in this one, they like aggressively don't care. So Vivian or Whoopi Goldberg, what are we going to call her?
And she gets called Sir Boss later as well. Let's just like
I want to call her
interchangeably
Sir
call
Boss
her.
once she's Sir Boss. Okay,
We'll interchangeably call her Whoopi Goldberg, Vivian, and Sir Boss throughout this film.
And
So
Sir
just know
Boss.
that all those three names are the same person, Whoopi Goldberg.
yeah, okay. So Whoopi Goldberg runs out the door into a bustling science centre and she grabs a nerd called Bob. Bob is talking to a woman. Are you going to go out with him? Whoopi Goldberg asks the woman. The woman shakes her head solemnly. See, she doesn't like you, Whoopi Goldberg says to the man and drags him away to the lab.
Yeah, Bob is played by the actor who plays the father of the main character in the Christmas Prince films.
Oh my god, you were second screening this. Wait, you... So
You know, she's got a wise guy Brooklyn dad.
Oh
in the
yeah,
Christmas
is that
Prince.
Bob?
Yeah, and he's like,
Oh.
hey, what's this Prince deal? Hey, well, forget about it.
All we've got to do is run it and see if it works in the real world, says Whoopi Goldberg. Bob's like, no way, we'll get in trouble if we don't simulate it first. I'm doubling the voltage, Whoopi announces. It's the only way. She informs us that her last grant extension is up at 5 p.m. today. So there's... So
you've got to do all your science quickly and dangerously. That's what this grant system encourages you to be unbelievably reckless.
well, maybe she's just sort of like left it to the last minute, you know, like do your
Like
you know
her
when you do
homework.
like
She's like, oh no, it's the graviton is due in at 5
the
p.m.
graviton's due in the morning. I'll take some Pro Plus and just sort of all night it.
They said they need the graviton on their desk by tomorrow morning. I haven't isolated it yet.
Yeah. They'll hang us out to dry if we don't show them a working simulation first, Bob complains. I've got a career too, you know, he says. Now this makes her pause in thought, even though Bob is wearing a t-shirt with an alien on it. So she should deliberately ruin him.
Yeah. Let's just not do a simulation and tell them we did, she says.
Yeah.
If I don't do the big kablooey now, it's never going to happen. Of course, Oppenheimer's famous words.
Yeah, I think that's how the quote went, isn't it?
She taps on the computer, and for some reason, the percentages on it, which did read 100, start going down. Danger, abort.
Well, there you go.
It says
it's now or never. Now, yeah, it's sort of the percentage peaks upwards at 100, and then somehow sort of dwindles down. So yeah, she's got to do it now.
Abort, it says, but she's too busy hustling Bob out of the lab to notice or hear the sort of loud alarms that are going off.
Right. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that was happening. But you're right. Okay, I mean, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, so presumably, had she hit the button at 100%, she would have invented the gravitron.
The graviton.
But instead, she's going on a wonderful adventure through time.
Through time, yeah.
Because it was at 98% gravity or something.
Yeah, that's the time travel amount of gravity. As he leaves, Bob sort of kisses her on the mouth, which is weird. And then she locks him out of the lab and goes over to the computer and pulls out a big red button that she's got.
She takes a sticker off of it, like it's never been used before, like it's sort of fresh out the box.
Yeah.
And pushes the button. System has now been activated, says the computer, and we see a big plexiglass cylinder thing go whew! And then the camera shakes a bit, and then a big, roughly 4 foot wide CGI bubble sort of grows on the spot. It goes and then kills Whoopi Goldberg by turning her into like golden radiation.
Yeah.
Because it turns out she's sat 1 meter away from this sphere of pure gravity.
Yeah.
On a chair
with no sort of shielding or protective equipment.
Yeah, she's not behind a screen. She's not got any goggles on or anything. So she's sucked into the ball.
At this point, I've written, remember when Whoopi Goldberg used to do the Universal backlot tour? Like, that's the level of star that she was. Where when you went to Universal Studios, you got a little film before you went on the backlot tour.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, hey, everyone, I'm huge star Whoopi Goldberg. Thanks for coming to the Universal backlot tour. And then Jimmy Fallon was in it later on. You remember this?
I've seen the Jimmy Fallon one. Isn't it now called like the Jimmy Fallon experience?
Oh, there's a Jimmy Fallon ride at Universal Studios. But this is when you did like the tram tour. It was like, hey, we're going to take you around all the sound stages where all the greatest movies of all time, like my movie A Night in Camelot, were made.
The only one I recognise is the Disney backlot tour with Jeremy Irons.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's the Disneyland Paris Studios backlot tour, which was so good. Jeremy Irons could not have wanted to be there less. Like his contempt for the entire project was just like radiating off the screen. So good. There's one point where he's dressed as a jester and he looks like he wants to die. I'm gonna have to find that and put that on our Instagram. That's so good.
Yeah, I mean, presumably the whole thing, like the whole video is on YouTube. Like,
yeah, must be.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
Anyway, Whoopi Goldberg's fallen through time. That's the point.
Yeah, she screams and is quickly transported in a golden flash, landing in a field. Moments later, she shields her head as a load of computer equipment falls onto her, and then we hear a horse go snort, and a small plastic lance is waved. It's waved in her face.
It clearly has very little weight. It's sort of wobbling around very easily.
You wear a strange garment. I presume you are noble born.
You're kidding, right?
Concede you are defeated and you need fear no harm.
What?
Whatever manner of creature you are, I fear you not.
You're real. You're real.
Concede yourself.
Forget you, man. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I just made scientific history. You crazy?
These strangely shaped objects around you, do they afford you some magical protection?
What are you talking about? Oh, this? No. This is stuff from my desk. My computer, my boombox.
Boom box?
Yeah, boombox. It's a musical thing. Look, this is very, very magical. Who are you?
Gather them up and walk before me.
Yeah, I really want to get to know you, but I want you to put that thing down.
I shall present you to my king.
A real king?
Of course.
A real king?
March!
Wow, this movie clips along. We're not 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
And a knight is sort of forcing her at lance point up to Camelot.
Yeah, she's walking up to Camelot with an armful of fax machines and laptops and boxes.
And not an Uzi in sight.
not an Uzi 9mm in sight. So she is marched to the castle by this night. They arrive there. It smells bad. She starts telling everyone that they all need to bathe. And then she gets tied to a post and a page boy walks up and kicks her hard.
Yeah.
He then starts smelling her and touching her.
It's probably worth describing Whoopi Goldberg's demeanor, acting choices. Acting choices feels very generous.
Yeah.
Through this whole film, she is like so relaxed. It's almost as if she's been pumped full of morphine before the scene begins. Like, no peril phases Whoopi Goldberg's character. She kind of drifts through this adventure in a very sort of, with very one-note delivery all the way through, which is a sort of sassy, I want to say like half improvised.
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
The energy she brings to it is like if someone at the lab was like, bit of fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
We've hired like an experiential theatre group. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a thing where it's like you've gone back in time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a sort of like fun day where you're at like King Arthur's court and stuff.
Yes.
And there'll be like puzzles to solve. And at the end, whoever gets through it the quickest wins a prize.
Yes.
And she's like, I don't really have time for this, but I guess it could be fun. And so she's just sort of like going through it with a sort of air of amused detachment. People are like, I'll kill you. And she's like, brilliant.
She's like, oh no, hey, don't kill me.
Yeah, like exactly that energy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're exactly right. Okay, we've had a drink before in the War of the Worlds bar in London, which is
yeah, right.
We haven't done the War of the Worlds live experience, but
the bar is always empty because no one wants to go and drink in a War of the Worlds.
Because no one wants to stay after they've finished the War.
Well,
of the Worlds.
you do get sprayed with quite a lot of dry ice while you're trying to have a drink.
But what's good about that bar is that every 20 minutes you see people spill out with loads of cheers and fog from the live experience, and they get sort of clapped and stuff. And they have the exact sort of bearing.
Yeah.
An attitude that Whoopi Goldberg has the whole way through this movie.
Well, we just escaped with our lives. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, it's incredibly... I don't really want to blame Whoopi Goldberg for this in particular, because this kind of is Whoopi Goldberg's whole, like, shtick, right? She's sort of doing...
just sort of sassy and confident
comedy,
and
comedy Whoopi Goldberg performance that you've probably seen elsewhere. But we know Whoopi Goldberg can act, but she's just sort of either been told not to or chosen not to.
Or can't be bothered to, yeah.
Or can't be bothered to. And it's really, really in contrast with like all the Royal Shakespeare Company, like rest of the cast who are just giving it the full send.
Yeah, there are definitely some bits of her performance that are improvised. You can tell she's just sort of like making up reactions as they go.
Yeah,
I think 589 AD, which is when she's gone back to, is too early. No one would be speaking English. She wouldn't be able to understand what anyone's saying.
Yes. Yeah.
It would be like a completely foreign language to her. She would have like no immunity against all the diseases. She would die instantly, is what I'm saying. She would be dead.
Okay, counterpoint.
Okay.
The cool thing about Arthurian legends...
okay, here we go.
The cool thing about it is that historians broadly agree that there was no King Arthur. It's like, it's just total myth, like total fable. But the thing that is interesting about it is that it's all set in the period after the Romans noped out of Britain. So it's kind of like post-apocalyptic,
right?
Because there's all this stuff in England, or whatever. There's all this stuff on the island that the Romans built, but that no one knows how to build anymore.
Right.
And there's all these old structures that are like, I don't know how they did this, and just like systems with underfloor heating going all like Last of Us overgrown and stuff like that. While everyone sort of, everyone left
scrambling around in the mud.
Yeah, like screaming at goats or whatever they were like mostly doing. So I do think that the particular time window is quite important. You wouldn't want it to be like too much later, or there would be like an established system of like kings and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So yeah, she asked what year it is. It's told it's 589 by this page who's called Clarence. You're kidding me, she says. I don't know anything about this year, but it's going to make a killer CD-ROM, I think, is what she says.
I don't know what she means by that. I think this is from an era where people thought CD-ROM was like a newspaper.
Right, yeah.
Maybe the scriptwriter meant email. Like, it's going to make a killer email newsletter.
like, it's just, like...
It's going to make a killer blog. Yeah.
The words CD-ROM are just a sort of punchline in themselves.
Yeah.
This Clarence starts rubbing her face, and then Vivian is like, oh, my skin colour doesn't come off. I'm this colour all over, except for my hands.
This whole bit
Yeah.
is fairly uncomfortable, I think. He's sort of like kind of pulling on her hair and like...
I think the filmmakers must have thought to themselves, like, oh, we'll need to address how medieval people would react to a black woman appearing in their castle.
Yeah.
Because, in a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court, it's a guy called Hank, a white guy called Hank. So it's not something that came up in the original novel.
Yep.
So they're like, we'll need to acknowledge it. And the way we'll do that is having this page come up and sort of rub Whoopi Goldberg and touch her hair and sort of smell her and rub her and stuff.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll address it in the least sensitive way possible. Yeah.
Yeah. She gets untied and is dragged inside the castle. It looks like a medieval theme restaurant. They're sort of like jesters tumbling and cavorting and tumbling and going, hey!
Yeah, delighting the aristocracy.
Yeah.
And the lords and ladies. There's wooden shields on the wall, there's a fife going nuts, and a knight stands to lead a toast. To the finest in our land, Arthur, King of Camelot.
Arthur stands. It's Michael York.
Holy
from Logan's Run and Austin Powers and Cabaret.
Cabaret, yeah. Oh my God. He's got
awesome
the best
casting.
Amazing voice.
Awesome casting as Arthur.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of British actorly voice.
That British actorly voice. When
I am Arthur, King of the Angles.
I'm Arthur. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good.
For your pleasure, and for yours, fair Guinevere. Sir Sagramore has captured an ogre from a strange and distant land.
Guinevere is played by Amanda Donohoe as well. So just what a cast. He welcomes back Sagramore the Desirous, which, I mean, how'd you get that name?
I don't know. Probably told everyone things he wants.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Cool toys he's after.
Yeah. I mean, is he...
Things he's collecting.
Is Sagramore, like, known for... Again, he's like quite a...
Yeah, he's a real obscure
figure.
He's a really obscure pull.
But like in Arthurian legend, right? It's all in French, like Le Mort d'Arthur, right? And he's called Sagramore le Désiré, which doesn't translate to desirous. It translates to impetuous.
Well, yeah, which is a much more believable honorific, isn't it? Like the impetuous.
Yeah,
yeah, like always charging in recklessly.
Whoever wrote this was just like, Désiré. That probably means desirous.
Oh my God!
Do you want to look it up? No.
Andy, that's exactly what happened. Sagramore the Desirous. So Sagramore presents Whoopi Goldberg to the court. He sort of drags her in. He introduces her as a cantankerous barbarian ogre who I defeated in terrible combat in a far-off land where all appear as strange as she. Whoopi Goldberg isn't really paying attention to this extremely urgent and frightening situation. She's smiling benignly at King Arthur.
Yeah, she's like, whoa, you're King Arthur, like Sword of the Stone, Excalibur? Wow, far out, man.
Like you would if you were doing a live King Arthur experience. Whoa, there he is. Hey,
there he is.
Lady in the Lake, am I right?
How long does this thing run? There's a bar at the end, right?
I should have eaten before we started. Is there a bathroom halfway along?
Yeah. It's like, can I just pop out? I'll come back in.
I'll come back in. Tell me what I missed. Tell me what I... Yeah.
Well, you've been imprisoned. Oh, okay, cool. Let me just shuffle into the irons here.
Yeah. Okay, so let's meet some more members of the court.
You see, Lancelot? Sir Sagramore always returns from his adventures with interesting amusements for his king. Why can't you be more like him? All you ever bring back are the heads of our enemies.
I beg pardon, my queen. But when I venture forth, it is to vanquish the enemies of great Arthur, and not to seek idle glory with adventuring.
Lancelot and Guinevere? You know, I know all about you guys. You should probably be a little more discreet.
What is it saying?
Oh, sorry. Hey! Okay. So maybe I said a little more than I should have said. I'm sorry, okay? There's no reason why are you putting me in chains. Whoa! Man, you scared the pants off me.
Kablooey?
This so-called ogre is nothing of the kind. She is a wizard.
So Merlin is here.
Merlin's here now.
Thank God.
He seems to know about Kablooey.
Yeah, which is odd. Merlin is a bizarre character in this film. He's sort of portrayed... Okay, I'll say this. Almost all of the time he's on screen, he's spinning in circles, emitting colourful fog from his sleeves.
Having set off a smoke grenade in his ropes.
Yeah.
So
he's just sort of, and like in a half crouch. So he's sort of half crouch, pinwheeling, Beyblading around almost all of the time, kind of muttering, going like, Merlin, my magic, powerful.
Yeah. It's weird. Some interesting choices. But again, it's Ian Richardson. Very famous and well-respected actor.
Yeah.
So she's going to be burned now because Merlin has said that she's a powerful evil wizard.
Yeah.
Vivian says that she's a citizen of the United States and demands to be let go, which I don't know why she thought this would work, but it doesn't.
Probably Whoopi Goldberg improvised it.
Yeah.
And everyone there was like, oh my God, just like Ian Richardson.
Yeah.
Aren't you sort of like mortified for them? Like Michael York.
Poor Michael York.
Michael York just sort of there on his hot King Arthur finery, sort of sweating.
Yeah.
Watching Whoopi Goldberg sort of improvise loosely.
Probably they had like, they split the day into blocks. It's like in the morning we'll do like all the good Arthurian stuff and we'll have all the Arthurian actors interacting.
Yeah.
And then just you've got to take your medicine in the afternoon and we'll do the Whoopi Goldberg scenes in the afternoon. So it's like half the day is nice.
I feel like the actors in this must have had like the sort of backstage area, like when they all go to their trailers or whatever, like the craft services table. There must have been so much like meaningful eye contact and eye rolling, from all the RSC cast who have like sort of favoured the globe and trod the boards and all these.
The boards at the Swan. Yeah.
Oh
dear.
Anyway, good times. So while Whoopi Goldberg is tied up, Clarence appears and loots her pockets, saying that whatever she has, there's no reason it should burn. And Whoopi Goldberg's like, burn? But she's not like, burn! She's like, burn!
She's like, burn? That's gonna be a weird scene in this interactive walkthrough.
Yeah. Merlin says that Arthur must slay the demon in his midst. Merlin is afraid of this rival sorcerer coming to court. So he's urging Arthur, like, kill her quick. So she's dragged to the dungeon, sort of lightly protesting as she goes.
Oh no, don't throw me in the dungeon.
No.
Oh, you're doing a great job. Very immersive.
This is brilliant. Oh, am I allowed to? Can I don't want to touch. Can I touch you? Is this one of the ones where like do touching?
Can we tip at the end? Or I can, if you tell me your name, I'll mention you in the TripAdvisor specifically.
I want to mention now. I don't have cash on me. Do you have an iZettle for tips? Contactless for tips. I don't want to do like a tip that's going to go to the parent company. I would rather tip you. I want it to go to you because you are doing a great job, Michael York.
Yes, I know. So she's thrown into prison. In prison, Clarence comes down to see her. He's like, hey, they're going to burn you at the stake. He sort of is enjoying this and reveals that he sold all of her goods to some monks for a silver coin, except this strange and weighty stone. It's her laptop.
He holds it up. Is this your pillow? An idea forms. She says, yes, it's my pillow. I use it because my back goes out. Just give it to me. She reaches through the bars to get it. He holds it back for a minute and she says, my life depends on this, please. And Clarence does hand it over so we know he has a heart of gold, even though he's a sort of thieving bastard.
Yeah. She opens the laptop and goes on the internet. She searches...
Logs onto the World Wide Web.
She searches the year 589 AD.
Maybe her Ethernet port is quantum entangled with the present.
It must be.
Yeah.
She looks up natural disasters. She asks Clarence the month and the day. He tells her it's the 21st of June. She puts that into the internet and sees that there will be a solar eclipse that day.
Yeah, at noon.
Yeah, luckily.
Good luck. Yes, she yells. So she grabs Clarence through the bars and explains, because she's figured out, because of this solar eclipse, how she came to be here.
Yes, gravitational particles aligned and catapulted her back in time. Ha ha ha, she says.
There you go. My note is that screenwriters should consider having implausible science things simply screamed, because for some reason it makes it go over better. And like, it works in Back to the Future, right? You've just got, how about this? Christopher Lloyd screams it. So,
yeah.
And you're just like, well, whoa, okay.
21 gigawatts. And people are like, put it on a t-shirt. I love it.
Yeah. So, just have it screamed. We cut to a pyre being assembled in the castle court. I should mention as well that like this was all filmed in and around a proper castle. It's Alnwick Castle, so it does look good.
Yeah,
this film looks a real treat. Actually,
real castle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Merlin is there. He's sort of yelling about how good magic will reign over bad. He's keen on this.
Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg is placed at the stake and a flaming torch is waved towards her. She calls out to King Arthur, "Let me go and I'll show you the most incredible magic trick." The king is like, "Yeah, magic trick. Release her straight away. I want to see a magic trick."
But Guinevere is like, "No, flay her alive and make boots out of her skin."
Yes.
I've written, Jesus Christ, Guinevere.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's not the end of it. And then she says, "And prepare a bed of caustic that she may burn for a week." Hell, Guinevere.
Guinevere is a maniac.
Guinevere's just sort of like at the side, salivating at the thought of doing Mortal Kombat fatalities on
Whoopi
Goldberg.
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, and then like, let's put sort of spikes in her fingernails.
And then sort of roll her around in vinegar and so it's like a sort of a Terrifier kill scene or something.
Yeah.
It's like way too much.
Let's uppercut her so hard her head pops off and her spine flies out, and then we'll grab the spine.
Yeah, and then we'll sort of whip her into pieces with the spine. Like, hooray.
And King Arthur's like, "Are you sure, my fair lady?" Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Guinevere. That's some sick
So the crowd cheers at the impending burning. Then Whoopi Goldberg glances at the sun and she sees that moon.png_not-final is drifting in front of the sun.
The motion controls are moving it slowly in front of the sun.
Yeah. "I feel a trance coming on," she yells, and everyone hushes. "You have wronged a great and powerful magician who came to you from a distant land in peace," she intones. "This evilness of yours must be avenged, so I'm going to blot out the sun, take all the light." And she waves at the sun, and of course, at that moment, the eclipse happens and the earth is plunged into darkness.
"I'm going to show you the real Dark Ages," she says.
Yeah, pretty good line. Everyone loses their minds. It's quite satisfying. Everyone's like spilling over each other, like sprinting into their houses, running and hiding.
Merlin goes, "Begone, shadows of darkness, I command thee," and then sort of fires a Catherine wheel out of his staff, but nothing happens.
Now, this, I think, is a bizarre choice for Merlin, because Merlin knows
that he can't do magic.
Merlin knows that all of his magic is like tricks and stuff. So why would you expose yourself by pointing at something that you don't understand and firing off a Catherine wheel from your staff and going, "Begone!"
Yeah.
And then it doesn't work. And it's like, well, my status at court just plummeted.
Yeah, but imagine if it did work.
Well, I mean, if it waited a few minutes,
the stakes are high enough that you're like, it's worth it.
Yeah.
If it did work somehow.
Actually, he can go like, "Begone!" Poof, Catherine wheel. And then in a few minutes, when the eclipse stops, he'll be like, "Yeah, my Catherine wheel takes a few minutes."
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. I did it.
It takes 2 minutes to work.
The magic had to travel all the way from my staff to the
the moon. Yeah.
Calm down.
Even
Arthur.
at the speed of magic is 60 miles an hour.
20 miles. 20 miles an hour speed of magic. It's like just faster than walking pace.
So Arthur runs over and he strikes Whoopi Goldberg's chains with his sword, freeing her. "Name any terms, O greatest of magician, even to the halving of my kingdom, but banish this calamity, spare the sun."
We've got to hear some of this because, like,
Michael York in his
we just have
voice.
we have to hear Michael York's full send.
"Name any terms, O greatest of magicians, even to the halving of my kingdom, but banish this calamity, spare the sun."
Oh, look, I don't want half your kingdom. I just want a little respect. I want you people to stop threatening me with flaying and chaining. I want to talk to the Knights of the Round Table, and I want to get to know your people, and I want him gone.
Granted. Prithee, now sweep away this creeping darkness, and I will raise thee to the honored state of knighthood.
Oh, okay.
My note is, this is good. Yeah, knights. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of into this, yeah. Armor, swords. It's fun. Fantasy. So she goes, she sort of waves up at the sun and says, "Come on back, it's cool. I command this in the name of King Arthur." "Can you top that, Merlin?" "No, you cannot," she says, I think needlessly antagonistically.
Yeah. We also see Guinevere and Lancelot appear to be having a thing at this point.
Yeah.
They're sort of sharing meaningful looks with one another. And then Whoopi Goldberg sticks her tongue out at Merlin.
His eyes are wide with rage.
Yeah.
Arthur beams. "Behold this great and powerful magician," he says, "and high or low, rich or poor, do her homage." I think the writing in this film is actually quite good, or at least all the sort of old-timey, dialogue has like a nice ring to it that I kind of was into.
Yeah.
It's just, things like nicely phrased. I quite like it.
Yeah, it feels properly Arthurian.
Yeah. So he declares Whoopi Goldberg the king's sorcerer and a noble knight. She kneels and he asks how she is named.
How art thou called, he says, which is, again, a nice way of putting that.
Yeah.
She says she's called Vivian. He's like, "Oh, not noble born. Thou needs must have a courtly title."
Yes. And Whoopi Goldberg thinks for a second, and then we cut to back in the feasting chambers. "Make way for Sir Boss, our newest knight of the Round Table." Sir Boss.
Not really a name, is it?
Sir Boss. In all my notes, I've written it Sir S-E-R.
Oh, S-E-R, Sir Boss, because you're
a
Camelot nerd.
I'm a Camelot nerd, apparently.
She meets all her servants. So she gets a mistress of the wardrobe and the chamber pot.
Yeah.
They're all like, "Oh, Sir Boss, you have great mysteries to contemplate." And they sort of run out giggling.
Yeah,
the mystery of how to get out of here, says Sir Boss.
She pulls out her cell phone and tries to phone someone. But, get this, it doesn't work.
What? It doesn't work in 589 AD.
I know, get this, it doesn't work. And then she says, "It's a real world now," which was confusing to me. I don't know what she means.
She takes out her boombox. Luckily, it's powered by batteries, and so it works. She starts playing that "Reach Out, I'll Be There" song by the Four Tops. And she looks alone and bereft. Yeah,
there's a very, very, very long tracking shot of her sort of sat sadly on her cot in her room.
While the Four Tops plays.
Yeah. The next morning, Clarence pokes his nose through her door and prostrates himself. He claims that he only took her things to keep them safe. "All is forgiven," she says. She says, "You look like a smart kid, Clarence. Can I trust you?" And she says that she needs someone around here to show her what's what at court and to stop her from becoming a new pair of boots for Gwynny, who, you'll remember, Guinevere wants nothing more than to
flay her alive.
Flay and murder. It's, what's who's the really nasty one in Game of Thrones?
Oh, Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, Ramsay Bolton. Yeah, Guinevere's got like Ramsay Bolton.
He's a full-on insane Ramsay Bolton character.
Yeah.
She also tells Clarence that he needs to bathe. So Clarence gets nude and bathes.
Yeah, he protests as women roughly sponge him.
He's roughly powdered.
Yeah, that's the end of that scene. It's very brief. It's just like a sort of runtime adding shot of Clarence being roughly bathed.
People will wonder if Clarence is bathed or not. We'll have to see it.
Yeah, people won't want to watch the rest of the film if they're thinking, "This Clarence guy stinks."
I can't look at him. He's too stinky.
He's too stinky because it's the past.
So clad in medieval garb now, but she's still wearing like New Balance running shoes.
Yeah.
Vivian walks out with Clarence to be among the people. She sees poor folk eating vegetables and helps herself to a carrot. "How come we don't have any veg?" she says. Clarence describes it as pig food.
Yeah. He recoils at the idea of the lords and ladies eating vegetables. Next, a load of roped up woebegons shuffle past. They all look sad and they're roped up. "Are they criminals?" asks Whoopi Goldberg. "Slaves," Clarence informs her cheerfully. "That's bad," says Whoopi Goldberg. Clarence is like, "Actually, it's as God ordained." Whoopi Goldberg patiently explains that actually God meant for people to be free and that under the law, everyone is born equal. Then we move to, like, nothing happens after that conversation except Clarence is like, "No way."
No way, man.
This is wild. The function of this scene is basically the education of Clarence. In retrospect, that's what the function of like all this is. It's like Whoopi Goldberg turning Clarence from a sort of thieving ne'er-do-well into like someone who was more enlightened and kind.
Yeah, and a sort of champion for the people who... I guess at this time they would be serfs rather than slaves.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But it's, functionally the same thing, I guess.
Yeah. So they go outside the castle walls, which is awesome because they've like had to set up a whole different scene. I mean, it's like two huts with the castle in the background, but fine. She asks a peasant if she can buy some vegetables. He throws himself to the floor into the muck. "Great lady, have mercy, spare my children," he says. He's prostrated all over. She's like, "Why is everyone doing this?" And Clarence explains that these peasants are owned by the king and they are thankful for his protection, etc. If they were to take money from her, In exchange for vegetables, they would hang. It's the law. She says it's a stupid law. And Clarence,
she says
Clarence
it's
reels.
It's a stupid law. I'll just leave some money here, and if you take it, then no one will be any the wiser, she says. We smash cut to the bodies on the gibbet in the breeze.
Crows eat the eyes. Yeah. So Sir Boss is like, all right, look, here's the system. I want you to bring me vegetables every day, and I'm just going to leave this money here because I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe there'll be more coins just lying around if you do this. And a peasant girl eagerly agrees.
Yeah. King Arthur never thought of this.
No. And Clarence sort of stares at her. This part of the film, in retrospect, having finished watching it, is quite frustrating because right now you're probably listening thinking this film feels like it's sort of on track. And you're kind of getting a sense of where this film is going to go. She's going to modernise King Arthur's court in terms of both technology and, crucially, ideas. And you know, that's a fun premise. What if we try and like...
It's the premise of the book, although in the book he does it secretly behind King Arthur's back and then reveals his like enlightened society. They all kind of burst out with Gatling guns and kill everyone.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of that's a sort of fun idea, sort of rife with dramatic potential. But in retrospect, it's a bit frustrating because all these ideas are just going to be like gleefully abandoned.
A lot of stuff in this film is set up as being important and then never revisited or resolved in a satisfying way.
Yeah.
And they spend way too much time on other like totally inconsequential, meaningless stuff.
It seems as if halfway through, Vivian loses her mind, and like, I mean, we'll come to it.
It's understandable. She's under a lot of mental stress.
But it's like essentially the first half of this film is, hey, I found myself in King Arthur's court, but I'm a modern scientist. I'll teach them how to build a steam engine. And then the second half of them is, I want to put on armour and fight with a broadsword.
Yeah.
Even though I'm Whoopi Goldberg and will die.
Okay. The best adaptation of a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court is the third Evil Dead film, Army of Darkness.
Ah, sure.
And in that, Bruce Campbell goes back in time with his car.
Yeah.
And his car is full of science textbooks.
Yeah.
And him and a medieval blacksmith used the science textbooks to turn his car into a sort of helicopter-bladed attack mobile that he just sort of drives through a big marching army of skeletons with.
Perfect. Brilliant.
Exactly. Perfect. Brilliant. Whereas Whoopi Goldberg's like, I'm going to modernise medieval society and then sort of almost builds a steam-powered mill, but then doesn't.
Yeah, but then sort of gets bored with the project halfway through and instead decides to, like, try and kill people with swords. Try and own her rivals in Mortal Kombat.
Well, I guess everyone in the court is so into the sort of courtly idea of honour that she gets swept up in it, and she's like...
Swept up in it.
Yeah, I must defend my honour through courtly combat.
The other thing that's worth mentioning is that... So what year was this film? 1998? 98. So in 1995, Disney already did this film. They released a movie called A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Right.
Which did get a cinematic release, I think. It's one of the first film roles of Daniel Craig and Kate Winslet, according to Wikipedia.
Okay.
And it's about a kid who loves baseball and rollerblading, and he gets sent back in time via an earthquake to King Arthur's Court. And it's basically the same thing. And I can't believe they would do such a similar adaptation so soon afterwards.
But you have to remember that a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court was public domain at this point, so they could do it for free.
Yeah, let's do it. Just do it over and over and over. Eventually, one of them will be good.
Yeah.
Cut to, none of them were good.
Cut to Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so where were we? Right, later on as they continue their walk, they see a man whipping serfs who are grinding flour. I've got to talk to the king about this, Sir Boss says sternly.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem particularly worried about altering time
or
anything like that. That's sort of not a concern.
We cut to the king going out for a hunt. Sir Boss is with him. I've thought of ways to help you and England out, says Sir Boss. What is England, says Arthur. Oh, yeah, in the future your country will be called England, says Sir Boss.
England, says Michael York. It pleaseth me. It trippeth most fluidly from the tongue.
This is deep prophecy, he says.
Deep prophecy. She says that she needs 100 men to help her build a steam engine. 100 slaves, he says. Not slaves, she insists. Workers. 'Tis granted, Arthur says. And Whoopi Goldberg says that she wants to talk hygiene and plumbing as well. Arthur's loving all this, but not in a kind of enlightened way. He's just like, wee, how fun, how interesting, how novel.
How strange and unusual. Guinevere watches them ride off furiously. She goes inside and talks to Lancelot. He is mad about Sir Boss's knighthood, and they have a sort of sexy conversation and almost kiss, and it's good.
It is, this is the first scene where like Whoopi Goldberg's not there, and you're like, oh my god, this is like properly steamy. This
courtly intrigue and
these like titans of the Shakespearean titans sort of pushing up against each other and like
breathily delivering all their good dialogue.
She tells Lancelot that he's widely loved by the people, and then she widely loves on him. The note I have at this point is that Whoopi Goldberg is sort of introducing the concepts of commerce and capitalism and the free market to King Arthur's court in that sort of 90s, very blithe, kind of like, obviously this is the superior system kind of way. I will say that this film does sort of hit different now in 2025 when we're in a kind of late stage capitalism slide into social implosion. But, you know, in this film, she's just like, hey, how about this? I'll sort of pay for. But if she does this back in time, then at this rate, they could be doing like NFTs in the Middle Ages.
Right.
Think on that.
I mean, the film's sort of main, if it were to have
Da Vinci could be selling bored apes.
If the film were to be said to have a point, it's that slavery is bad, which I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with that as a point.
Yeah, we can all rally around that.
But also, Whoopi Goldberg, I don't think really understands the system that she's trying to usher in as well. She's just like, well, you just pay everyone.
Yeah.
And then that'll be good.
But this is a system of serfdom. It's feudal.
King Arthur is like, what is this ape? Why is it bored?
Yeah, she's
capital.
Literally capital. Anyway, but the thing is, like, none of this really matters because they're going to give up on all this stuff. Like, in about 20 minutes' time, the film's just going to wildly shift course. Anyway,
we cut to Clarence looking at the vegetable delivery girl who he fancies. He leaps on her and is like, "Are you afraid?" And she's like, "I guess a bit. You just leaped on me."
But the music tells us that this is fun.
This is nice, actually. Sir Boss isn't like the other knights, he says. Come inside. She wishes to speak with you. Inside, Sir Boss has built a small steam engine. I've just invented the Industrial Revolution, she says.
Yeah.
It will grind corn and give people leisure time.
This is deep magic, they remark. So the peasant is led in. She says that she was named after the witch who foretold she would be a girl.
Yeah.
My note is, dope. Her name is Gorabagarel de Sandy.
Gorabagarel de Sandy. Yeah. This character in Morte d'Arthur is Demoiselle Alessandre à la Catloise.
Right.
So
how did that
become Gorabagarel de Sandy?
I don't know, but clearly someone read that and read the name in French and was like, Sandy. The character is Sandy.
Sandy. And what before that? I don't know. Say about 4 syllables, doesn't matter what they are, and end in Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy.
Gorabagarel de Sandy.
So Whoopi Goldberg's like, I'm going to call you Sandy because your name is hard. She asks her if she can cook vegetables. Of course, am I not a woman? Sandy replies, shocked. Doesn't mean you can cook, Whoopi Goldberg tells her, but she can. So she tells Sandy she can live in the castle and be her cook and basically have a nice life and be paid.
Yeah. Clarence is in love. Be nice to her, says Sir Boss. And Clarence says, I shall. She is beautiful, even though she be a slave.
She be but a slave. Yeah.
Sir Boss says, find her a room that has a lock on the inside. Anyway, bye.
Yeah, this film, for some reason, thinks that there's absolutely no problem with a sort of, like, continually pushing the idea of sexual threat, which, while historically accurate, isn't doing much for the vibe.
Yeah, or the character of Clarence, that she's like, Clarence, I need you to find her a room that locks from the inside because I know what you'll do if you don't find that for her.
Yeah, or at least all the other men at court.
Well, Sir Boss.
Like,
you know me too well.
Of course, yeah. So we cut to Clarence showing Sandy her lodgings. She is shocked and disapproving at the enormous expanse of them. All I deserve, she says, is a corner in the kitchen where I can quietly die of plague. She doesn't say that, but that's basically it. She doesn't know why she's favoured so. She says, I tell you, Clarence, I will not submit to shame. A little bit more sexual threat. So
yeah,
great.
And he's like, no one's going to shame you. Do your duty to Sir Boss, and all will be well.
Okay. So she's like, Clarence.
But the music tells us it's nice, though.
The music tells us this is all fun and sweet. What? She's like, why on earth is this happening to us? And he explains to her that Sir Boss identified that he was clever and smart, and he has a brain, and that she has a brain too. And she's like, I have a brain.
Yeah.
And she, you know, the squishy thing that, like, if you hurt it too hard, you turn off.
Yeah. They will both be instructed in the ways of science. Fear nothing anymore. I will see you come to no harm, he says, and leaves. My note here, I've just written TF is going on.
So we cut to Sir Boss is tinkering with her miniatures and her models. We see her walking out in the courtyard, directing construction of her steam mill.
Yep.
Merlin fumes from the ramparts.
Merlin stalks the battlements. Apparently, I thought he was banished because she was like, Merlin shall be banished after she did the eclipse. And Arthur's like, yes. And then Merlin's just sort of wandering around.
Banished
the rest
to
of the film.
He's banished to the ramparts.
Oh, he has to be up on the ramparts.
Yeah. So I mean, worth noting for later, Merlin is walking around on the ramparts, looking at Whoopi Goldberg furiously, plotting how he can overthrow and destroy her, and no one else is around to see that.
Yeah.
Just file that away for later.
File that away for later in case it becomes important.
Yeah.
We see worked metal and rivets being put into place. Puffs of steam go into the air. It's nighttime now. Merlin approaches the machine with a flaming torch. He reaches inside and pushes something.
Yeah, it goes clunk.
Yeah.
Off camera. He's sabotaged it in some way. Next day. This is weird. Sir Boss walks around in the courtyard screaming at all the her employees. What is
Screaming
going on?
at them.
She's yelling. They're working so slowly.
They're such lazy workers. Clarence is like, the people are tired and dislike working with this monstrous machine. And then I think he says, it eats the men.
Yes, he says it eats the men. He says it eats the men. They have to feed it all day long. I think the implication is that among the small folk, this machine is a sort of figure of myth and horror. So everyone is like, oh, they say it eats men or something. But he literally just says, it eats the men. So
Vivian, who previously was like, oh, this serfdom is bad and people should be free to have leisure time and stuff, has now, her personality has changed and she now hates the lazy workers for working too slowly and is screaming at them.
Why don't we pay them nothing and whip them consistently? I think. Okay. Let's have a clip and then we'll say. But first, let me lead up to that. So, the machine explodes. Because Merlin sabotaged it, and to my surprise, crushes a peasant seemingly to death.
Seemingly to death, yes.
Yeah. So
Merlin
Boss is
watches from the battlement, loving it.
Yeah, file that away. So Boss is like, this man is hurt. Get him a stretcher, and Clarence and everyone get back to work.
Well, yeah, Vivian's like, sake, nice work, clown. To this dead worker.
Drag his shattered limbs out of here, and let's get back to work. Clarence, however, is furious.
All these workers came to us as freemen. Why does it seem to me that they are slaves now?
They are not slaves. They're well paid, they're well fed, and they're well housed.
Are they free to leave?
They do it every day, Clarence. They go home at night, they come back in the morning.
Like slaves?
No, not like slaves.
Well, how so not? Because they are your slaves?
Hey, we're building a future here.
Well, then why does it look worse than the past?
I don't know. I really don't know. But are you telling me we got to stop everything because one man got hurt? You want progress? This is how you get it. Everybody works for the greater good of everyone else.
I can live without progress. I don't want to live without justice.
So this is okay. Here's what I think is happening, because this is very confusing. Because suddenly we've got Whoopi Goldberg, who's like crushed the workers under the machines, and Clarence, who has grown up in a sort of feudal serfdom.
Yeah.
Is like suddenly very, very caring and very, very passionately feels that it's wrong that this man got crushed.
About
and
individual workers, yeah.
I think what they're going for, and it doesn't land, so maybe this is a generous interpretation. I think they're going for the idea that Whoopi Goldberg begins the Industrial Revolution, and then as a mandatory follow-on from the Industrial Revolution, we have a sort of Victorian tycoon era where...
Right. So she, like, speed runs the Industrial Revolution. She goes from starting it to, like, callously crushing her workers on the wheels of the machine.
Exactly. She's got, you know, like, who doesn't care about match girls with phossy jaw in her match factories or workers falling off the Golden Gate Bridge and dying and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's what they're going for, but it's stupid. And it doesn't make any sense because she does have a modern brain and she is a modern person. So there's absolutely no way she would be like, break them upon the machine.
Yeah, and also these two scenes are sequential.
Yeah.
There's not any time between them.
Yeah.
She goes from like, this will help the workers to stupid workers dying in my machine.
Yeah, she's like, I've invented the Industrial Revolution. Now we can have leisure time.
Yeah.
And then one gets exploded, and she's like, "Bring me more!
I'll kill as many workers as it takes."
Yeah, I'll
like
shoot
Clarence,
you if you unionise.
Clarence brings this up, and he's like, "I can't live without justice." And then she goes, "Well, la-di-da, you just invented the first teenage rebellion."
Wow!
Like, a man is dead. He's being dragged off in the back of the scene.
Yeah, I mean, he's being pulled away on a stretcher to the infirmary. What do we think his odds are in 589 AD?
With 6th century medicine.
Yeah. We'll place a leech upon his mangled legs.
Hasn't done anything and now he's dead. Oh, hey Luke, it's been all right being here in medieval times as we are recording this podcast, but it's been okay. I find it quite hard to find food. Like
nonsense.
There's I've got to go hunting for stuff. You've got to sort of pull like root vegetables out of the ground, and they haven't been cultivated properly. They're all sort of withered and old. And
yes, but no, they're delicious. Look at this parsnip that I've found.
Yeah. Oh. No, okay, that's a mandrake. That's a mandrake root, and by biting into it, you've sort of released a curse. Sort of screaming and bleeding. You see, this is the problem with medieval food. If only we had a service like Hungry Root.
Yeah.
Which is like having your own personal shopper that takes care of the weekly grocery shopping, recommending healthy groceries tailored to your taste, nutrition preferences, and health goals.
I'll tell you what, one of the things I really miss about the modern age since we travelled back to medieval times is Hungry Root, because they make it easy to eat high-quality, nutritious food and achieve any diet or health goals, from anti-inflammatory to gut-friendly, gluten-free or dairy-free, high-protein, and more.
You know, the only good thing about this medieval food is it's got no high-fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners or preservatives in it, but that is also true of Hungry Root's food, so it's better.
Yeah.
They only source top-quality meat and seafood free of hormones and antibiotics.
Yeah, I really miss Hungry Root, and I am now hungry for this mandrake root. Take advantage of this exclusive offer, listener. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every Hungry Root box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/momcan'tcook and use code momcan'tcook. That's hungryroot.com/momcan'tcook, and the code is momcan'tcook to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/momcan'tcook, code momcan'tcook.
You gonna finish that mandrake? That's a nice homespun jerkin you're wearing there, Luke. Have you stitched the words "The Last of Us" into it?
Oh yes, I have.
Coloured thread.
Well, you know, I'm here in the court of King Arthur, but I want to show everyone that I'm a big fan of video games, and so I took my rough spun tunic and I just sort of stitched in Bayeux tapestry style the words "The Last of Us" and a crude drawing of Joel from The Last of Us, and it is crude.
It is crude, crude. It's rude and crude.
Rude and crude.
Well, I suppose that's what you have to do these days, because here in medieval times we can't take the easy option of going to insertcoinclothing.com and picking out stylish, comfortable and affordable clothing based on the video games that we love.
Yeah, exactly. And trust me, if only I could bring back some of these garments, King Arthur would be amazed. And people in the modern world would be amazed as well. Because these designs are fun, they're cool, they're flashy, they really stand out, but they don't necessarily stand out as like an obvious video game t-shirt. They're sort of cute references,
just nice stuff,
cool visuals. Yeah, it's really fun. If you're a video game fan like I am, and like Andy is, then you should definitely have a browse on insertcoinclothing.com and see the cool designs and licenses that they've got popping off on there.
That's right. And Insert Coin have given us a special code for Mom Can't Cook listeners. You go to insertcoinclothing.com and use the code JOUSTDesserts at checkout. It's JOUSTDESSERTS at checkout. You will save 10% off online orders. Codes are not applicable on charity items, bundles, gift cards, postage, and some products at launch. Codes cannot be combined with other deals or promotions and are valid until the end of 2025. Get your Joust desserts at insertcoinclothing.com.
Andy, let me tell you, there's something that I really wish I could go back in time and invent in the past.
A gun.
A gun. And then if there's time, Huel, Huel. Because in the past, through all of human history, we've staggered along eating turnips and brackish
Radishes.
water and all sorts of whatever crap we could find lying around on the floor.
We found.
Yeah, exactly. This bit of animal that I've rubbed in salt. Ew.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that anymore. In the modern day, we've got Huel.
Yeah, stop eating like a knight of the round table and eat like a cool person who enjoys Huel, like Luke and I.
Yeah.
Because Huel is a perfectly balanced meal that saves you time, and it's designed by experts to provide all the nutrients your body needs from a meal. It takes the guesswork and time out of healthy eating. No prep, no cooking.
Imagine if I could go to King Arthur and say, Arthur, mate, how would you like 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, high fibre, low sugar? Arthur, you could feel focused and ready for your day and ready for your reign. You would definitely thwart Mordred's attempts to overthrow you if only you had been dining on Huel, you clown.
I could get jacked with all this protein,
Yes,
says
you could,
Arthur. And Arthur could also be saving 15% off and getting a free gift as a new customer by using our exclusive code MomCan'tCook at Huel.com.
Yep, that's 15% plus a free gift for new customers using our exclusive code MomCan'tCook at Huel.com. Please see our description for the terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition, bottled. King Arthur, you idiot.
Arthur's drinking it.
He's drinking it.
He's loving it.
He's loving on it. That's great.
So inside, Vivian broods by the fire. Sandy approaches. She asks about Clarence, but Sir Boss doesn't know where he is. Sir Boss rants about how no one appreciates her blowing them up.
Yeah.
Sandy says to be free is to be seen, heard, spoken to as no slave is.
Yes. She says, it would seem that to be ill-used thus as a free man is no better than being property.
Yeah. And Sir Boss is like, wow, never thought of that.
Whoopi Goldberg looks pensive considering this huge news, but people don't like it when you scream at them all the time and crush them in machines.
Being a slave is bad, but also it's bad to be mean to free people.
Yeah.
And she's like, whoa, slow down. You're blowing my mind here, Sandy.
So, next day, she meets Clarence in the yard and apologises. I became the thing that I hate, she explains. Clarence forgives her. You were trying to help us, he says, and they're friends again.
Yeah.
But she can't figure out why the machine's all left up.
Clarence says that rumour has it that Merlin did it. He placed a hex upon it, and Sir Boss says, why would Merlin hex me of the man that she had forced from his powerful position in court?
Banished to the ramparts. And then she starts to lose her temper for no reason, but catches herself. And she's like, whoa. Hang on. Let's not lose our temper.
Yeah.
She says, I just need to have some fun. Loosen up, you know. And Clarence says, how about a joust? And at this point, the film forgets everything that it's done so far. So you remember how Whoopi Goldberg was building a steam engine and she had to get it built in time because she needs to show it to King Arthur?
Yeah.
We're never going to see the steam engine again. We're never going to hear about her industrial efforts again. She's never going to bring out a piece of modern technology to amaze everyone ever again. All of the entire premise of the film is done now at the sort of roughly 40-minute mark. So just file away that, we're done now. We cut to a joust.
Not interested.
It's full Ren fair.
Yeah, we cut to the tilting yards.
It's Lancelot versus some chump. He unhorses his opponent violently.
We hear that 20 years of being a knight and Lancelot has never been unhorsed. There's never been a warrior like Lancelot, says Arthur. We see a man wrestle a bear, and then we see a man wrestle a man. I think those two events are in the wrong order.
Yeah, I think
it's more impressive to escalate from man to bear than the other way around.
Were you quite startled when you saw a man wrestling a bear for real?
Yeah, I was like,
oh my God.
What's going on here? Is that? I mean, I was like, is that a guy in a suit? But I think it's a real bear.
It's a real bear. It's the most startling thing I think I've seen in any film we've covered.
Does this film have an American Humane Society thing at the end? I wonder.
Yeah, can we find out? One bear was badly harmed in the making of this film.
One bear was wrestled.
One bear was hurricanranaed from the top rope.
No, there is no American Humane Society certification.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. A bear was badly wrestled.
Okay. When Lancelot unhorses his opponent, everyone cheers, but Sir Boss flinches, and Guinevere nearby rolls her eyes and says, "Hast no stomach for the trial at arms?" Because remember, she is a sort of lunatic sadist who...
She can't wait to see someone get impaled through the eye with a lance.
Yeah. Do it again. Do it to his other eye.
Vivian starts doing some sports cheering at this. She's sort of like she's in the crowd at a football game, and she's like, "Woo, go Lancelot." And Guinevere sort of rolls her eyes at this instead of having no context for it and not understanding it.
Yeah. So when Arthur's done explaining how Lancelot is the best, greatest, most powerful knight in the world, he sort of waxes lyrical a bit about how his fighting days are behind him. People champion younger men now. And Lancelot comes up and he bows to the queen and makes eyes at her. "Youth is so attractive, don't you think?" says Arthur, and makes meaningful eye contact with Guinevere as if to say, "I know, my love, I know." It's the kind of subtle delivery that you genuinely, I think, could only get if you've got someone like
Michael York
doing it.
And Amanda Donohoe, yeah.
Yeah.
So Merlin is here again, unbanished. Sagramore has apparently asked for a spell of invulnerability. Vivian says this is a waste of time, but Arthur says if Merlin prancing around in coloured smoke gives Sagramore the courage to face Lancelot, then his money has not been entirely wasted.
Yeah.
Okay, says Vivian, a meaningless expression to someone from the 500.
So, yeah, Merlin's sort of Beyblading around, emitting red smoke and going...
Yeah.
So as Sagramore passes Clarence shoots him a filthy look. We don't know why, but we'll find out later. So they line up for the joust. It's visors down. It's Lancelot versus Sagramore. The horses whinny and rear, and then they charge. As Lancelot gets close, Sagramore's lance sprays a jet of hydrochloric acid out of the end.
Unhorsing Lancelot.
Yeah, he goes down hard. I laughed out loud at this sort of...
Yeah, no, me too. But
sort of hosing.
How does this happen? How does this happen, please?
Merlin runs a tube up the length of the inside of the lance.
Right, so there's some sort of canister of hydrochloric acid inside the lance.
Yeah, Merlin has figured out how to put acid or hot
pressurize
steam or whatever. Yeah, under pressure.
Water.
And then there's just like a button, a kind of trigger underneath the lance.
Yeah.
And so Sagramore presses the button and it discharges its load of hydrochloric acid from the end.
And it's not really affected by the speed that the horse is going or the wind.
Oh my God!
If you
did this, the acid would just spray back in you.
You would just fly through a cloud of acid yourself.
Cloud of hydrochloric acid. So Sagramore is immediately blinded and dies. Lancelot is like, that was weird.
So I guess the inference is that Merlin has converted Sagramore's lance into a sort of super soaker.
Yeah, a super soaker of hot steam and acid or something.
Oh, so stupid.
So that happens. Sir Boss sees this and she's like, WTF was that? Arthur says, "Fear not, the competition is not over yet. There's still single combat to come." But don't worry about that because there isn't, actually.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
Lancelot takes to his horse again. My eyes, he says, but he gets on his horse, removes his helmet.
Yeah.
He refuses the lance and takes his broadsword instead in hand. He gallops at Sagramore. Sagramore tries to spray him again with silly string or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for some reason, and Sagramore is struck and falls. And Merlin
Lancelot just sort of effortlessly swings his sword and knocks him off the horse. It looks pretty great.
Yeah.
The crowd goes wild. Everyone's delighted.
Lancelot rides up to the
Clarence
court.
is very, very pleased that Lancelot did this.
Yes. Lancelot rides up to the king and queen. He sort of eye-fucks Guinevere a bit and then rides off.
Yeah.
Sagramore is sort of dragged past on a stretcher.
Yeah.
Sir Boss sort of trash talks him and he says, I demand satisfaction. Clarence leans in and says, this is a fight to the death, Sir Boss. You must refuse. I'm a knight too, says Vivian for some reason. Consider yourself challenged, she says for some reason.
She says, I'm a knight too. How can I refuse? And she says it in the way you would say, how can I refuse when the dessert tray rolls past? You're like, oh, how can I refuse?
Or the way you'd say it if you were doing a sort of walk through Arthur experience and one of the actors challenged you to oh, how can I refuse?
Are you sure, Sir Andy? 'Tis a fight to the death. Be ye sure you will take on this task?
Yes, no, I must take on the task, of course.
Very well!
Just through here in the next room?
Yeah. Is there a toilet?
I have been asking since the second room.
So consider yourself challenged, she says. Sagramore then comes up with some BS about why he can't do it now. He says he'll return in a month when he's done rescuing maidens from a three-headed dragon, and everyone rolls their eyes. He needs more time to plot with Merlin, basically, and come up with pyrotechnic ways to win fights.
I'd like to challenge Merlin too, says Vivian, getting into it. I think he sabotaged my flour mill. Oh, you have the right to challenge, so says the king, says Arthur. And then she sort of high-fives him, and then she sort of explains what a high five is for a while.
Yeah, although everyone looks sort of shocked when she slaps the king, as if they'll strike her down right there for harming the king. Later at night, she's working in her tower. She's rocking out to The Twist by Chubby Checker on her machine. Clarence comes over to look at her desk with, he's holding a candle. She sees this and blows it out and severely bollocks him, even though there's a candle right in front of her and a roaring fire in this room.
Yeah.
She explains that she's constructing sticks of dynamite.
Yeah, watch this, she says, and then throws something into the fireplace and it explodes.
Yeah.
Love that, she says.
Yeah.
It's called dynamite. You just get gunpowder, a simple task, and putty, and then you take a wick, and then you put it in a stick, and then you light it, and you toss it against anything you want to blow up, and it goes kablooey. I made a couple of these in case Merlin causes us any trouble. She's going to murder him with dynamite.
She's going to lob grenades at Merlin.
She's just going to be throwing sticks of lit dynamite around the place.
Around the kill court of King Arthur. Yeah, so, oh man, I love that she's just, how about this, I'll make dynamite. Heedless of the fact that, like, the invention of dynamite was one of the most frightening turning points in human history. And didn't the inventor of dynamite, didn't he have a sort of Oppenheimer-style regret? And
wasn't it invented by Chinese monks in, like, the 9th century?
Oh, well, sure. I think so. But I'm sure there's like some kind of mining tycoon or something in the US, I think, who was like, oh, I only meant for this to be used to make mines, and now people are sort of bombing each other.
People are running into the King's Court and throwing it.
yeah, just lobbing sticks of dynamite at Merlin.
But Sir Boss has another plan to mess with Merlin. Cut to the Great Hall. She starts playing Respect by Aretha Franklin on her boombox.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Roman candles burst into sparks out of everyone's food. Merlin, this castle ain't big enough for both of us, she says, as she is lowered from the ceiling by a sort of hoist.
Yeah. I accuse you of high crimes and misdemeanors. Everyone is amazed and impressed.
Outraged.
And outraged. I think this is a wild thing. Why is she doing this? Why is she like, hey, I want to kill the following people. I want to kill Sagramore. I want to kill Merlin.
2, Merlin.
Why? Shouldn't you be trying to figure out how to get home?
Yeah. Also, why is she doing this whole production where she's being lowered from the ceiling using medieval technology? She's not using 20th century technology. She's being lowered by a rope from the ceiling that everyone then is like, I know what a rope is.
Yeah.
I know what a hoist is.
Yeah.
I can see Clarence.
She's playing Aretha Franklin, but that's about it, you know, for the mind-blowing stuff. I'd be like,
it's
why are you being
like
hoisted
music
above this magic box?
Yeah.
This magic box is playing unexplainable sounds. Why are you being hoisted around while this is happening?
Yeah.
I don't know. So Guinevere comes to Merlin's defense, but Merlin accepts the challenge. He says, it is you who will be exposed as a fraud. We shall see, Merlin, we shall see, she says. And there's another puff of blue smoke and she laughs like Dracula and is sort of hoisted away.
So she's just gone insane.
She has just gone insane. Okay, to be clear, there is no plan to go home.
No.
She is no longer working on the steam engine. She's not doing anything now except trying to kill Merlin.
Trying to kill her enemies in court.
Yeah, she's trying to kill Sagramore and trying to kill Merlin.
Yeah.
There is no other objective. These are not waypoints on the way to going back home or anything like that.
No, it's unbelievable. So she hits a smoke bomb and leaves to the strains of Aretha Franklin. Arthur is loving it.
And then you're like, okay, well, how's she going to defeat Sagramore and Merlin? I imagine she'll maybe do it, which she could electrocute them, or she could...
Yeah, or she'll use modern ingenuity, or she'll have seen something in a movie that she'll be able to recreate. You know, like in Back to the Future, where he sees the guy with the bulletproof vest in the Western.
Yeah.
And it's like a nice early scene that pays off later. You'd be like, oh yeah, or she'll do the twist and like twist out of the way of his sword or something. Yeah. She'll use some sort of like story structure to defeat Sagramore.
But instead, we cut to Whoopi Goldberg being strapped into full plate armor. She clumsily stands and immediately falls over. She can barely walk or raise her arms. She staggers into a pile of lances.
Yeah, she's given a broadsword that she can't lift.
Yeah.
She asks to get out of the armour, but it's explained that she's been riveted in and can't remove the armour without destroying it. She asks if she can go to the bathroom. Clarence is like, you've got to do that in the suit. She complains a lot, and then she's sort of dragged across to a contraption that empties a bucket of water over her head.
Yeah.
For reasons that are unclear to me.
It's described as the knight's closet. Take her to the knight's closet.
Okay.
And she's held in place to, like, two people sort of hold her arms while this big sluice of water pours down her back. And she moans and goes, "That was good."
I think this has to be...
Yep.
She's just...
We both... Can I just say, listener, we both tried our best with this.
Yeah.
We discussed it beforehand. We were like... What do we think is going on here?
What do you think this is? I think the only thing this can be is that she's urinating in the armour and the water is to wash the urine out of her armour.
My interpretation was that the big sluice of water is kind of acting like a bidet. Yeah, like she's already gone.
Yeah.
And this sort of, like rinses her clean.
Yeah. And there's no other explanation. She says, I need to go to the bathroom. They say you have to go in the suit.
Yeah.
And then they call it the knight's closet, like a water closet.
Yeah. And then water is sort of poured all down her. Or maybe it's like, do you know, sometimes if you can't pee, but turning the tap on sort of helps, like the sound of running water or something.
Right.
Maybe it's like here if we sort of sluice you with water. Now, the obvious explanation here is that this is some kind of historical ritual that doesn't make sense through modern eyes. But I honestly don't think it is. I spent ages trying to figure out if this was a thing. I watched a YouTube video where a sort of medieval armour expert explains at great length how you go to the toilet in armour. And the long and the short of it is you either go in the armour or you spend a long time taking the armour off and then you go. There's no special room for being sluiced as far as I can tell.
And you can urinate freely while the water washes the urine away.
Knight's closet is giving me nothing on Google. I don't know.
I just think we shouldn't gloss over the fact that the film made us watch Whoopi Goldberg stand up and urinate into a suit of armour.
Yes.
In this film.
And then be like wetly sluiced and go,
that was good when I urinated.
Her decision making is becoming increasingly strange and unpredictable and dangerous. So later on, she's like sort of clomping around in her armour. She says, "I'm mad, I'm wet."
Piss-reeking armour.
Piss-reeking armour. I don't want to hear it, Clarence. Clarence is arguing with her. He says, "Sir Sagramore is destined to die by my hand and no others." And she says, "Well, why is that, Clarence?" And he leads her to a graveyard where the film gets really, really dark.
It gets unbelievably dark. Take it away, Clarence.
This is my family, Sir Boss. Mother, father, grandfather, my eldest sister and her new husband, and my sweet baby brother. All died on the same day 14 years ago. May they rest in peace in a world better than this.
I'm so sorry, Clarence. Was it the plague?
No. It was not the plague that took them.
Why are they buried here? There's a cemetery behind us.
Because the lord of this estate would not permit them burial on consecrated ground.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
My father was gamekeeper of this estate. And on my sister's wedding night, the Lord rode up to the door and demanded his rights. Her husband, a freeman not of this estate, refused him. All paid with their lives that day, save me, 6 years old, who escaped into the forest.
Sir Sag?
From that day to this, I have dreamt of the day that I would have my vengeance on that black-hearted devil who repaid my family's loyalty so. I came to Camelot so that one day I could be a knight and have the right to challenge him.
So to be clear, Sir Sagramore, the bumbling knight in the children's film, rode up on Clarence's sister's wedding night, demanded the Lord's right of prima noctis to have sex with the bride on her wedding night, and when they refused, Sagramore personally murdered Clarence's mother, father, grandfather, sister, brother-in-law, and baby brother.
And a baby.
And a baby. Sir Sagramore killed a baby with his sword.
Yep.
And this is Sir Sagramore of the, hydrochloric acid lance and going, I will fight ye in a month when I've get back from rescuing a maiden. Sir Sagramore,
he just
what do you
murdered
like?
everyone. Murdered everyone with a sword, including a baby.
Comic relief knight. He lay about the wedding with his broadsword. And slayed an entire family and a baby.
It's unbelievably dark. And the film just sort of throws this out here as sort of motivation for Clarence, but it's too
much.
Dark.
It's too much. What it should have been is Sir Sagramore had Clarence's father hanged. A single person, and it's not Sir Sagramore doing it individually.
No.
But it is totally reprehensible. And
I said someone was stealing vegetables from Sir Sagramore's vegetable patch.
Poaching. It's always poaching. When
Someone
need
was
to go
poaching,
to...
and it wasn't my father, but Sir Sagramore was convinced it was, and he had him hanged.
Yes.
There you
How
go.
hard is that? Or like the winter was so hard we were starving. My father went out and poached a deer on Sir Sagramore's land.
Yeah,
and
even
for
if
that
he did
was
do
hanged.
it, then give him justification. Not Sir Sagramore knifed a baby to death.
Yeah, and why did he do that? Because he was refused. He wanted to sexually assault a woman on her wedding night.
Yeah, and was refused, so he killed 6 people, including a baby.
Yeah, so he killed a baby with his sword. Are you serious? A Night in Camelot? What the hell?
The Walt Disney Company.
This is absolutely unbelievable. So we cut to King Arthur's bed where he's spooning a dog.
Sorry, but before we cut to King Arthur's bed,
this film is unraveling.
Clarence says that he escaped into the forest, and he says, from that day to this, I dreamed of having revenge on that man. I dream of becoming a knight so I can challenge him. And then Whoopi Goldberg says, he challenged me, Clarence. What do you want me to do? Chicken out?
Yeah.
Like, he just told you he murdered a baby. She's like, no way, man.
Chicken out? No way.
Anyway, we cut to Arthur's bedroom where he's having sex with a dog.
Yeah. So King Arthur is in bed. There's a dog at the end of the bed, and then there's a dog in a spooning position with Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur's under a blanket, but he's sort of nuzzling and kissing and
loving on this dog.
The dog's eyes are wide in panic.
Vivian asks for Sagramore to be arrested.
Yeah.
And Arthur explains that it's not a crime to kill Clarence's family.
For what crime, says Arthur? Arthur points out this is a noble knight's word against Clarence, and even if his account were to be believed, it was a punishment, not a crime. This is
Arthur explains that refusal of first night prima nocte is bad and punishable by death.
Yeah,
he says. Yeah. If you refuse the Lord,
it is as ancient as the land itself. He says,
and then he starts making love to the dog.
Yeah, he suddenly seems very. My note is he suddenly seems very sleepy, as if he has finished. And again, I quite enjoy the Arthurian legend. So I'm not super loving the interpretation of King Arthur in this story, where while he makes love to a dog, he patiently explains that the rite of
prima nocte.
The horrifying rite of prima nocte is actually good and an ancient law and something that he's happy to uphold.
Yeah, Sir Boss is like, you should change the law.
Yeah.
And he says, the king must uphold all laws.
All laws.
Is there any way to call off this duel? She says, you can give up your title and place at the round table and leave Camelot in disgrace, he says. And then he sort of falls contentedly asleep.
Yeah, settles into the cosy sleep of someone pleased to uphold a lord's right to sexually assault his serfs. And that's that. So Sandy and Clarence meet outside the castle walls. Clarence is in a terrible mood. He doesn't want to talk. It is not you that causes me this anger and grief, he explains to Sandy. This is another one of those scenes that's good because Whoopi Goldberg isn't there and they can just sort of give it the full Arthurian send. If she fights Sir Sagramore on the morrow, she will be dead, Sandy says. But he's furious. If she defeats Sir Sagramore, she will kill him and deny him his vengeance, but also he doesn't want Sir Boss to die.
Yeah, he's mad that he can't restore his family's honour. Love is stronger than revenge, says Sandy, and they hold hands. And good scene, I've written.
Yeah. The music swells. Cut to court. Jesters walk on their hands. Merlin is crouch walking around, dispensing red smoke of invincibility.
Firing red smoke out of every hole.
He's muttering, "It will defeat Sir Boss's evil magic," he's muttering.
Yeah.
Sagramore destroys a turkey with his broadsword to demonstrate his strength, and then Merlin hits him with a stick to demonstrate his invulnerability.
Yeah. Vivian comes out in no armour.
Yes.
Guinevere and Lancelot are loving this, laughing at it. Arthur asks where her armour is, and she's like, "I don't need it. You'll be cut to pieces," says King Arthur. "Oh no, honey," says Vivian. "Bruce Lee."
And then Arthur looks confused, as am I. Now, this is a very frustrating scene in the film, because when you have someone, a time traveller from the modern era, walk out wearing no armour to fight a medieval duel, and everyone laughs and goes, ha 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 ha, how can this person hope to win with no armour? I'm expecting the film to impress me with a clever way that someone from modern times can beat someone in full armour using modern technology or ideas.
For example, in Mark Twain's novel, for example, he produces a revolver and shoots the knight dead.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Can we do it now? Can we think of a ABC Family Disney safe way that you could do this? What would you do?
Modern technology. Well,
You've got 30 seconds. What's she got? She's got her boombox. She's got dynamite.
We saw her creating sort of pressurized steam stuff, right? So she sort of wheels in a weird bucket, and everyone's like, how are you going to fight Sir Boss with that? And then she turns basically a hydraulic water cannon on him.
Oh.
Shoots him across the room, slams him into a wall.
Yeah.
He's all wet. He's all wet and slipping around.
That's good. She could create a rudimentary battery, store up an electric charge, and because he's wearing all metal, she could, send a shock through his armor that stuns him, and then she declares the win while he's on the floor and stunned.
Or she, okay, so there's a big metal chandelier in this building. She could sort of run like cables around it and create like an electromagnet.
Oh.
Throw a lever, and then Sir Sagramore is like pulled
hoisted
up
onto the ceiling.
He's hoisted up and pinned to the chandelier.
That's visually fun. That's interesting.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, let me down from here. This is an outrage." And
I will let you down if you yield.
Yeah.
I yield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go. That's fun.
What happens instead, Andy?
So what happens instead is that she sort of just actually fights him. But is sort of good at it because she's like doing Three Stooges bits and like stabbing him in the bum and stuff. She's got no combat training and he sort of can't hit her. And then she starts doing kung fu by going, "Hiya!" and kicking him and stuff. And he's like, "Ow, stop kicking me."
Yeah.
It's so strange.
So he's swinging wild with a sword and she's like ducking under it. And like poking him in the bum with a sword. She prangs him with a serving tray, and then she like kung fu fights him.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe modern kung fu can outfight a knight in armor. I'm sure there are 100 YouTube videos in depth explaining.
I'm sure there's an episode of Deadliest Warrior about this very thing.
But what I would say is, and what I think what Deadliest Warrior would probably agree is that the person who's doing kung fu would have to know it.
And not be, for example, Hollywood actress Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg doing a sort of problematic pastiche of the fighting form. So they tussle more. It kind of turns into sort of pro wrestling on the round table.
A lot of pratfalls and things. She gets up on a table. Sagramore comes up onto the table with her. He falls over a lot. And then she gets a couple of maces and just straight up starts beating him to death with maces.
I think they're ladles. I think they're soup ladles.
Okay.
Yeah, so that it's fun.
Okay.
But she's just sort of hitting him until he's unconscious with soup ladles.
Again, there is no presented reason as to why Whoopi Goldberg is good at fighting.
Whoopi Goldberg's character could have been born in like 40 years earlier in this timeline and have come to court and done all this. Clarence could have done this. This is nothing to do with the modern era.
No.
Nothing at all.
She's just sort of like moving out of the way of his sword and hitting him with soup ladles and everything. And it's like, why hasn't anyone else done this?
Yeah, why doesn't everyone try moving out of the way of the sword? Why doesn't Sagramore simply hit her with the sword instead of hitting next to her?
Like the idea that she's watched some Bruce Lee films.
Yeah.
And so she can...
Is that supposed to be it? The idea is that like she's watched a load of Bruce Lee films that they don't have in olden times.
Yeah, so no one knows that. Well, it doesn't help because when she does her Bruce Lee kung fu, she kicks Sagramore in the crotch and hurts her foot because he's wearing plate armor.
Breaks her toe.
Yeah.
None of this is anything. It's so weak.
it goes on for so long.
It goes on for ages.
But basically, Sagramore is defeated with ladles. And then Clarence hits him in the back.
Sort of runs up behind him like tag team wrestling and like hits him hard in the head. You dare challenge a knight, screams Guinevere.
To the dungeons, bro.
Yeah. Clarence is like, no, he's a murderer. And he makes his case.
Do you remember Horace, your loyal gamekeeper who you murdered 13 years ago? His wife, their infant son, my sister and her husband, all of whom you slaughtered that night. I am the son who escaped into the dark, and tonight I will have my vengeance, though I pay for it with my life.
He lies! Silence! The boy does not lie. I have been told of this dark deed, and I decree he has the right of challenge.
My queen, will this low-born scoundrel be permitted to challenge a knight of the Round Table? His challenge is an insult!
Silence, I say!
Your Highness, he's just a kid.
What say you, boy? Is it your desire to fight to the death?
So this is freaking wild.
So Clarence challenges Sagramore now, and Arthur is like, yes, you have the right of challenge. Fight Sagramore.
That's Arthur's favourite phrase in this film, isn't it? He just walks around going, you have the right of challenge. You have the right of challenge.
Everybody gets the right of challenge.
Yeah.
But then they fight, and Sagramore easily beats Clarence.
He kicks his ass.
Sagramore, who seconds ago was like pratfalling over on a table and couldn't catch Whoopi Goldberg, is now beating the ass of this like athletic young
man who is trained in sword fighting.
Yeah.
So there's your hierarchy. There's Clarence, athletic young man trained in sword fighting.
Yeah.
Sagramore, who is like the mountain from Game of Thrones now. And then above that, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg in New Balance sneakers.
Yeah. So anyway, Sagramore towers over Clarence and he's ready to give him the full Gregor Clegane crush his skull.
Push his eyes out with his thumbs.
Yeah. So Boss is like, back him up. And Clarence scampers backwards until he's under a chandelier. And then Whoopi Goldberg cuts the rope and the chandelier falls on Sagramore and squashes him. And Clarence takes the opportunity to get a blade to his throat.
Yeah.
I guess this counts as winning.
This counts as winning a courtly duel, I suppose.
Fine.
Dropping a chandelier on
somebody else dropping a chandelier. Yeah. Confess your crimes or die, says Clarence. I confess, he roars.
Yeah.
Sagramore is played by Robert Addy, who is Guy of Gisborne in the Robin of Sherwood TV show.
Yeah.
He also played Mordred in the movie Excalibur. So he's
just a medieval-looking dude.
Arthurian old pro, yeah. Valiant youth, says Arthur.
Brave youth who fell over and then his friend dropped a chandelier on Sagramore.
Yes.
I now bequeath to you all of Sagramore's titles and properties.
Yes. And Arthur's drunk. You have the right to challenge. You have the right to challenge. You have all of his lands now. You have all of his titles now.
Arthur is asking for trouble with this, because if I was in that room, because there's a lot of people there, I was like, wow, you can just push over a knight and drop a chandelier on him and then you get all his titles and lands.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Pretty dangerous for the delicate balance of power in court, right? So Arthur also says that Sagramore's fate is in Clarence's hands, so basically he can kill him if he wants.
Yeah.
Clarence looks down at Sagramore.
How will you extract vengeance, says Lancelot. I find justice sweeter than revenge, says Clarence. Have him tried. For sure, bro, says Lancelot. Justice he shall receive. And then he breaks Sagramore's sword over his knee.
Yeah. My note is, at this point, I wish Sir Boss wasn't in the film, because what's happening here is just, like, now... she's not doing anything.
No.
So now it's just like Clarence, this wronged youth in King Arthur's court. Can he possibly...
risen up again. He's restored the honour of his family and is now being elevated to the position.
You've got so many awesome characters in play. You've got Lancelot, who's this like absurdly skilled, like superhumanly good fighter, but who has this critical weakness, which is that he's in love with Guinevere and tortured by his own sort of sense of how wrong that is.
Yeah, his human desires are clashing with his noble ideals.
Yeah. And then you've got your Clarence, the upstart knight, Sir Sagramore, the evil one.
Yeah.
You've got Merlin, the sort of fraudulent wizard clinging to power.
But then he takes over Sagramore's lands and titles and duties, and he starts to realise like why Sagramore became the way he is, and pure Clarence starts to become more Sagramore-like in his ways.
Meanwhile, you've got Guinevere plotting, in love with Lancelot, plotting against King Arthur, and King Arthur sort of knows it's happening and is kind of letting it happening because King Arthur has this weird self-critical doubt, which all stems from the fact that he is common born as well and doesn't really believe he should be king. He just pulled a sword from a stone, and at this point the film has introduced too much awesome stuff. There's too much awesome stuff happening, and Whoopi Goldberg.
We keep having to go back to Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah.
Oh.
So we cut to the next day. Whoopi Goldberg has decided she's going to adopt a third new motivation for this film.
Yeah. So
she's
getting even further away from trying to get back to her own time.
Yeah. She explains to Arthur that she's been f***ing everything up because she's been doing things too fast without knowing where she is. So she'd like to get outside Camelot and meet the people. I'll take care of Merlin when I get back, she says.
King Arthur's like, yes, and I'll accompany you. Because, of course, it's been a long time since he got to go on a quest. He's in his advanced years now, and he loves the thought of getting out there again.
A valiant notion, it charms me, he says.
So they ask Clarence, will we pass as common freemen? No, says Clarence, you're too clean. We cut to a fun scene of Clarence, King Arthur, and Sir Boss rolling around in the mud.
Having a mud fight.
I look, at this point, nervously at the time code. Because what we've got here is Clarence, King Arthur, and Sir Boss rolling around in the mud. Merlin remains unchallenged.
Undefeated.
The graviton remains undiscovered.
There's no plan in place for her to return to her home time.
And there's 18 minutes left.
Yeah.
And they're about to do a new adventure.
They're heading off on a brand new adventure.
Yeah. Also, sidebar, King Arthur, was a page and all that. So he would have known that they should smell bad.
Yeah.
This whole bit kind of hinges on King Arthur being
sheltered and having never experienced the real kingdom. Yeah.
Anyway.
So they ride out covered in mud. Sir Boss tells Arthur about the USA. It's quite wonderful, she says. They wrote a musical about you there.
Yes.
Yes, the USA does sound wonderful, says Arthur.
I didn't know that there was a King Arthur musical. And desperate to do anything other than watch the film,
right?
I ended up watching
the entirety of the King Arthur musical.
Well, I watched some of the songs, so incredibly
Camelot, right? By
Camelot,
Lowe and Lerner.
In the stage version, Julie Andrews was Guinevere and Richard Burton was Arthur.
Oh, damn!
Stacked cast. I watched them do a song where, like, Richard Burton is just sort of, like, dancing around and being all chirpy and singing with Julie Andrews. It's called, like, What Do the Simple Folk Do? And they're like, oh, we're so sad. What do the simple folk do to cheer themselves up? And they're kind of prancing around. It's brilliant stuff. Anyway, back to this. Yeah. Suddenly, horned raiders ride up along the road. And they all have to sort of duck and sprint into bushes. Arthur springs out after they've gone and shouts after them, "Ye ill-mannered rogues, stand ye before me and pay for your insolence!" The Clarence and Sir Boss grapple Arthur into the bushes. "My lord, those are slave traders," says Clarence. "If they catch us, they could sell us into slavery."
"We'll find them soon enough," says the slaver leader.
Yeah. He says, "Don't waste your time looking for them. We'll find them soon enough," which is weird.
Yeah.
In some other way than looking.
Yeah. Maybe they'll just wander into our slaver town.
Yeah.
He says, foreshadowing exactly what happens. Back in the castle.
Things are getting steamy.
Yeah, it's great because Whoopi Goldberg is no longer at Camelot. So we cut back to Camelot and we have some awesome Game of Thrones plotting with Lancelot and Guinevere.
Yeah, so Lancelot grabs Guinevere for a steamy confession. He says that he loves her, but they're so torn. They both love Arthur, but Lancelot loves her too.
Damn, how is this plot going to resolve itself, you're wondering,
I know.
in the next 16 minutes?
She says Lancelot's his only passion. He says, "If it were only passion, I could banish it from my mind. but it is deep within my heart. Kiss me this once, that I may know it, and never again. Yeah. And Guinevere says,
if I kissed ye once, I fear I would never stop.
And then she leans closer as they come so close to kissing, and then she twirls away, torn, her heart rent in two.
Yeah.
This is so good!
Anyway, we cut to a pond where Whoopi Goldberg is teaching the king how to cringe back from his betters so he can blend in.
Yeah. So Arthur tries to cringe, but it's not convincing. Instead, he struts, and then playful music plays while Clarence tries to cringe.
Yeah.
And then Sir Boss shows how to sort of creep along, scampering meekly.
Yeah.
They follow in a sort of comedy conga.
Yeah.
That feels quite bad and sad, because it's like this is sort of a comedy bit about how to walk along like a serf or a slave, cringing away from someone who might at any point kill you on a whim. And it's played for like laughs. I think, I think it's, I don't know. There's a weird, quite bad and sad is how it feels to me.
Yeah. So as they sort of go on this conga line, they come across another castle town. They wander in and are seized by those slavers from 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Take them to the slave market, says the lead slaver.
This is like the start of a film.
Yeah.
This is like if when she had landed in a field, Sir Sagramore had taken her to this town.
Yeah.
That's the point at which these events would make sense.
There are literally 16 minutes left in this film.
Yeah.
They're clapped in irons and taken to the slave market. They're being pelted with fruit by other people.
Yeah.
We are slaves now, says Whoopi Goldberg, and apparently it's the king's law to be a dick to slaves. The king realises now that it's a heartless law.
Yeah, okay, this is wild. So everyone's throwing vegetables at them.
Yeah.
Why is this? And Clarence says, if you show mercy to a slave, it would mean you were once a slave yourself.
Yeah.
Probably more king's law, says Sir Boss. And Arthur says, yes, it's my law, meant to maintain order amongst the lowborn, but it is a heartless law. So wait.
I made a law that you have
Arthur
to
made a
slave.
Arthur made a law that says if you show mercy to a slave, it means you were once a slave yourself.
Yeah, but he realises now that
the law says if you're kind to a slave, then everyone has to go, oh, you were probably a slave once.
Yeah. That's what these people are throwing rotting fruit at them out from the law. They would be arrested if they didn't.
Yeah. So
sold into slavery because they were once a slave.
So the slave driver grabs Arthur, who fights back, and for fighting back earns himself 3 days without food or water, chained up to the ceiling by the neck.
Yeah.
And we cut to, they're in prison. I look nervously at the runtime.
I think nervously about all the dangling plot threads that are currently unresolved.
Yeah. So Sir Boss is chained up as well, and so is Clarence. She produces a Swiss Army knife and picks her lock. I don't really consider this a modern marvel, because what she's doing is using a knife. And knives they surely had.
Yeah.
So she frees Clarence too, and King Arthur. Then all the other slaves in the prison start protesting and shouting. Why?
Arthur explains that if one slave escapes, all the slaves hang, as it is the king's law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they say this, and then they run for it anyway.
Yeah.
But are caught by guards. But Clarence, however, manages to get free. Run to Lancelot! Make haste! Shouts Arthur.
Yeah.
And Clarence smashes excitingly through a wall and steals a horse and rides out of town.
Off. Yeah. All the other slaves are led to the gallows along with Whoopi Goldberg and Arthur.
Well, so yeah,
presumably
we cut to back in the prison. We see outside a gallows has been erected, and in the jail now, there's only Sir Boss and Arthur. So I suppose they already hanged everyone else for...
Yeah, presumably they were working through them like left to right.
Yeah.
And now they've just come to the last two to be hanged.
Why? Just don't put in your film that, like, oh, if someone tries to escape, they hang everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that it's a horrible bit of King's law, and this film is generally working around the idea of what if laws weren't staggeringly cruel.
Yeah.
But then you have Clarence escape.
And so all these people have been hanged.
I don't know, it's horrible. This film is...
It is horrible to think about.
I don't like thinking about it. Okay.
No.
So Arthur bemoans his out-of-touchness.
Yeah.
And the fact that when Clarence gets to Camelot, will Lancelot and Guinevere even want to save him?
You know, Arthur, I come from a time in the future where wondrous and magical events take place. I saw a man walk on the moon. Yeah. I've seen the best face and the
worst face of humankind. And you know what seems to get us through? Hope. Because somehow we believe if we give people the tools, like love and honor, loyalty, and forgiveness, they can make their lives better. This concept came from a place called Camelot, of which you were the architect. It's gonna be all right.
So, having traced all of humanity's achievements back to a story, a European story about
being nice to
cool
people.
king.
Being nice to people came from Camelot, didn't it?
It did.
Love, honor, loyalty, and forgiveness. We only have those because of the Arthurian legend.
Yes, we do. Without them, we would be nothing.
Yeah.
Back at Camelot, Clarence pleads his case to Guinevere and Lancelot. Guinevere is not convinced. She hates Sir Boss and says, how do we know that this is not all her doing?
Yeah.
Perhaps you have come to lure Lancelot to his death so that none may oppose her in her ambitions.
Every word I speak is simple truth, says Clarence. Leave us, shouts Lancelot, and Clarence sprints away.
Yeah.
What if what he speaks is the truth, says Lancelot. Why would Arthur go out in peasant clothes and get hanged? He's never done that before, says Guinevere.
So King Arthur didn't tell anyone where he was going.
No.
Before he did this.
No.
Seems like a mistake. I must go to him, says Lancelot. I am honour bound. You are honour bound to protect Camelot, even if from the king himself, says Guinevere, applying her womanly wiles, I suppose.
What if the king they rescue is no longer the man we love?
Oh my God. You speak of love, but I fear it may not be love for your king that speaks the loudest, says Lancelot. And if it is not, says Guinevere... This is so good! And this is like Clarence, Guinevere, Lancelot just sort of doing a scene.
We cut to Clarence suiting up in armour. He's bravely going to go back himself without Lancelot.
He has no plan, but he must simply try, he says.
Yeah.
He leans into Sandy and he says to her, I may never see your sweet face again, Sandy, but know that if I die this day, it was with your name on my lips.
Damn.
I love you. Another good scene. because at this point, it's just... Like, it's
Arthurian
just
legend.
Arthurian legend.
It's great.
Yeah, we've dropped all pretense of it being a sort of Connecticut Yankee in
King Arthur's court.
Yeah.
So Clarence leaves all knighted up. We cut back to the gallows. Arthur's like, well, not looking promising. Can you do that blotting out the sun thing again? And Whoopi Goldberg is like, I can't get on the internet, so I don't know if there's going to be an eclipse.
Yeah, she's like,
or not.
She said very breezily, considering like the noose is literally around their necks. She's like, no, that was a once in a lifetime enchantment, and does the sort of shrug emoji.
Well, then she's like, he's sort of getting worried that they're going to get hanged, and she's like, hey, I told you about the future. The story does not end this way.
What?
But she's been changing the past constantly since she got here.
Apart from anything else, somewhere off screen there are a load of monks with like science equipment.
Yeah.
That Clarence sold to them for a silver piece.
She seems to think that she's got plot armor because Arthur didn't get hanged in the future that she's from, but she's in the past changing events, so she could absolutely get hanged. Why is she
Sagramore didn't have plot armor. Why does she think she does?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a drum roll. The executioner prepares to kick away the stool and kill them. Suddenly, riding into the square, it's Clarence! A horsed Clarence. He charges in, the peasants scatter. He's off the horse in a moment. He runs up the steps. He fights guards with his sword.
Yeah, he can suddenly sword fight.
Yeah,
as opposed to earlier when he got his ass beat by Sagramore.
But
he has an ace up his sleeve, which is to say he starts throwing sticks of dynamite around this crowded courtyard.
Yeah. So there's a slow-mo bit where they knock aside his sword. He grabs a stick of dynamite, hurls it into the crowd. It kind of lands by a stone wall and explodes a whole building, presumably killing dozens of people. But everyone runs in terror, seeing this like military force.
Yeah, it goes all low frame rate for ages.
Yeah.
And everything sort of explodes and people scatter and panic.
So the square is emptied because everyone's like running in terror from this godlike explosion, leaving Sir Boss, Arthur and Clarence chuckling away. Nobly done, says Arthur.
Yeah.
Way to go, Clarence, says Sir Boss, and they're cut down and freed.
Ever since I've been here, it's been one miracle after another, says Vivian. It is the age of miracles, is it not? Intones a voice from the heavens.
What? Who said that?
What?
Whoopi Goldberg looks around. Seems like no one else heard it. That's odd. She looks into a doorway and briefly sees a mysterious figure lurking there, but when she looks back, they're gone. Okay, I look nervously at the runtime.
We've just introduced this new mysterious character with 2 minutes to go. Good.
Cut back to Camelot. Guinevere addresses the court. She says that she bears dire news. The king is dead, induced to go adventuring by the evil witch, now hanged as a common brigand under her evil spell.
Yeah.
She lets the court digest this and goes to Lancelot, who's agonising in his way behind a
What have we
pillar.
done? He says, we must carry this through, she says. The sun rises again. Long live the king, she says, and points at Lancelot. Everyone claps, and then Arthur walks in and does another Mark Twain quote.
Yeah.
He goes, the reports of my death are greatly exaggerated.
This is apparently a misquote of Mark Twain, but I suppose A for effort movie. So Guinevere immediately changes her tune and runs to Arthur. My lord, my heart is filled with joy that you're safe. And Lancelot says, long live Arthur, king of the Angles. Arthur lets Guinevere get up off the floor. He says, this is my queen, who I love with all my heart. He kisses her hand, implicitly forgiving her betrayal.
Yeah.
And by his sort of immense power of personality, assuring that the rest of the court forgives as well. And this is Lancelot, who I also love, he says. They have fought dragons this day and have been saved by God, as I have been saved by ignorance, by Sir Boss, and from death by this young man.
Yeah, he's learned a lot in the 2 hours he spent outside getting thrown in prison.
Yeah.
The scales have fallen from my eyes, he says. Sir Boss showed me we must all turn our thoughts to the suffering of our people. And then he turns to Clarence. Clarence, thou hath a prince's bearing and a lion's heart.
And a son's loyalty.
And a son's loyalty. I love you more than my son, Clarence.
Yeah, he's got a bastard son, Mordred. Evil Mordred.
Yeah.
Oh, son of my son, he says of Clarence. Clarence is knighted and made a knight of the Old Republic or whatever. Everyone...
Knight of England, he says, the words unfamiliar in his mouth.
Yes. Everyone claps and Clarence is knighted. There is 4 minutes left, including credits.
Yeah.
Where's Merlin? He asks one more favour. Clarence, this is. It's regarding Sandy.
Yeah.
He loves her, he says. Would you consent to our marriage? If she is worthy in your eyes, says Arthur the Kind, then she is worthy in ours.
Yeah.
Bring food, bring drink, says Guinevere. Play music.
Guinevere's like, nice, Arthur's back, play some music. And Vivian is like, let's play my music, and puts on the boombox. It's Chubby Checker, do the twist.
Yeah.
She starts doing the twist. Everyone awkwardly joins in.
Yeah, she teaches King Arthur to do the twist. Everyone dances and twists for a very long time, considering 3 minutes remain.
And we still haven't resolved the whole Merlin thing.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with Lancelot and Guinevere.
I mean, look,
we don't have any plan for Vivian getting back to her hometown.
Yeah, there's so many plot threads. And to be fair, what the film does is sort of combine 2 plot threads. How does she get home, and how does she get revenge on the courtly imposter Merlin?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Great news.
Strap in, gang. So
great news, everyone.
So everyone's dancing and twisting. Suddenly, Sir Boss turns to find her hated rival Merlin brandishing his staff in her face.
Yeah.
It is time, he intones. For what? She says. He touches the staff to her, and she dissolves into gold. Suddenly she is back in the present, in her lab.
In her lab, in her chair. She sees that Merlin is here, but now he's in a suit and cravat. You, she says, and rushes around. Am I really back? Oh, yes, says Merlin, and then explains everything.
Am I really back?
Oh, yes.
Why? Why? I had so much I wanted to do. I wanted to make canals. I wanted to make flushing toilets.
Too soon. Much too soon. But thanks to you, Arthur became the king who set the world on the long road to freedom. And free men will bring new light to the world. The Dark Ages will be over.
You orchestrated all of this, didn't you?
And what about you? What did you know about honor, about loyalty, about pride or courage before you came to Camelot?
Well, does that mean I'm never going to see them again? Are they even going to remember I was there?
I'm sorry, no. But they all lived happily ever after. More or less.
Where are you going?
Here.
Whoa.
So then what Merlin does is He opens a cupboard door, revealing behind it the deep cosmos of space.
Yeah. Where are you going? Says Vivian. Here, says Merlin. And he opens a door to reveal a Windows screensaver of the galaxy.
Of the galaxy. He's about to step through it. Vivian says, "Can I come with you?" "Well now," chuckles Merlin amiably, "I could use an apprentice." They link arms and step out into space and dissolve into gold.
Yeah.
Credits.
The end.
What?
What? What do you mean? What do you mean, movie?
Okay.
What?
Okay.
What was...
The main problem with this is, of course, that Merlin's magic is real.
Yeah.
Because there's not been real magic in the film up to this point.
No.
And also, Merlin can do real magic. And she's like, "Oh, this was all part of your plan, wasn't it? Was it Merlin's grand plan to spin around like a goblin, spraying acid in Lancelot's face?"
This is my problem. What is Merlin's plan? He spends the whole movie trying to kill Vivian.
Do you remember that bit where he was up on the ramparts, sort of like staring at her with malice while no one was
around? At the start, when he said that she should be executed for being a witch, and then she got dragged to a pyre and was almost burned to death.
Yeah, do you remember
but
when...
was only saved by the incredibly unlikely thing of a solar eclipse happening.
Yeah. Do you remember when he went in the middle of the night and sabotaged the steam machine so that a man got crushed nearly to death? Why was it Merlin's plan to crush a man to death with an exploding machine? And then suddenly cut to cravat-wearing Ian Richardson doing like a Doctor Who audition. Just sort of being like, "Oh, yes.
Here I am, a time-travelling wizard.
A time-travelling wizard. The cosmos is vast. Come with me." And she's...
Come with me on to the multiverse of madness.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Ian Richardson kind of gets this over the line. But
yeah, because he's Ian Richardson.
But I don't want to give the film a pass for this ending, which is breathtakingly awful. What the hell? And also, when she says... When she's like, "Hey, will they even remember I was there?" And Merlin says, "No." So if they don't remember she was there, how did this work? So Merlin's grand plan is, right, like he needs someone to come from the future and teach the court of Camelot kindness and modern ideals of equality, etc.
She set Arthur on the long road to freedom.
Yes. Brackets question mark.
Brackets question mark. Because he realises that being a dick to serfs was bad, and so he stopped it, even though he didn't exist.
But also, like, contained within the Arthur myth, there's already the idea of like a for the time revolutionary amount of freedom, because that's the point of the round table, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like they all sit at a round table and no one's in charge, and it's like, whoa, King Arthur, are you sure? Don't you want to be a cruel dictator? And he's like, no, we'll all sit equally at the round table. I will be first
amongst equals. Yeah.
In this film, there shouldn't have been a round table until the end. She should have proposed it, and that's how.
Yeah. He should have sat at the top of it, and then she'd be like, what would be more equal? And he'd be like, yes, this is good. This will be my philosophy going forward. But also, he's like, he treats Whoopi Goldberg's character arc, in inverted commas, with the same weight. He's like, yes, Camelot has been set on the long road to freedom. And what did you know of loyalty?
Yeah, what?
Of sacrifice, of bravery before you went to Camelot?
Yeah, and it's
pride or courage.
Well, I don't know. I suppose we're to assume that she was an incredibly disloyal person, but we only saw her for 2 minutes, like 90 seconds before she went to the past.
He said, what did you know about pride before that? And at the start of the film, we saw her going, yes, I'm going to win a Nobel Prize. I'm the best.
Yeah. And she was like, Bob, you better get out of here. I don't want you to get in trouble too.
Yeah.
So like
loyally.
Pretty loyal, pretty proud, I would say. But Merlin's like, and of course you were a real scumbag, weren't you, before you met King Arthur?
It's nuts. It's like they went to check the film canisters and they realised they only had 10 feet of film left.
Yeah.
And they were like,
oh no.
We gotta finish the movie.
Yeah.
Have Ian Richardson open a cupboard.
Done.
And we'll put a screensaver behind it and then they jump in it. It is wild.
It is.
It's like the worst possible ending.
I think it's the worst ending we've done on this podcast.
Is it worse than Wheelchair Heaven?
Oh,
it reminds me of Wheelchair Heaven.
Yeah, it has the same. Yeah, from Miracle in Lane. If you're a recent joiner to the podcast and you want to go back and hear a truly shocking ending, Miracle in Lane 2.
Check out Miracle in Lane 2. Oh. Also, like Guinevere and Lancelot are in love. Guinevere is insane and evil.
Yeah,
that's never resolved.
No.
She's just going to continue to be in love and insane and evil.
I just can't get over this idea that it was Merlin's plan all along to sort of hunch around like a little golem and sort of
setting off gas.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, and then at the end, he's kind of like stood proud and tall and unbelievably kind.
He's like, yes, this was all part of the test, Vivian. And of course, you passed with flying colours.
A vital part of it was for me to run around like a little golem spraying red smoke on an extremely bad man to help him kill Lancelot. The man who killed a baby with his sword. I helped him do all sorts of stuff.
But also, if Arthur only abandoned slavery because of the actions of Vivian, then why in the present, at the start of the film, isn't she living as a serf under a feudal lord? Because serfdom was never abolished. Because Arthur never learned to be kind from her.
Oh, yeah. Well, I suppose it's because time is a single flat...
It's a flat circle.
I don't know. What happens to the wreckage of her steam engine that we'd never see again past the 40-minute mark, but is the entire plot up until then?
Also, she vanishes from Camelot. She just dissolves when Merlin touches her. So her boombox and her laptop and...
Yeah, they all stay.
But
no one remembers she was there. But they do remember... Isn't Arthur going to be confused when he's like, oh, that's what I was going to do, free the serfs. Why was I doing that again?
Why was I doing that?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm sure yesterday I thought it was a good idea, but now I can't remember why.
Probably just won't do it then.
Yeah, probably won't do it.
Why have we elevated this Clarence to a knight? Why is he here?
I don't know.
Execute him.
Kill him. Sir Sagramore. You get his lands and titles.
Get your baby stabbing knife.
Anyway, I'm off to spoon my dog while Guinevere and Lancelot plot against me.
Oh, what a stupid movie.
Oh my God, it's absolutely dreadful. I have that very, very familiar feeling where I feel like I need to dunk on this for about another hour, but I don't know what I will achieve.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's just like...
It's a kind of powerless feeling. It's too stupid.
Yeah, it's like it's too deep. It's
too wrong.
If you get too deep, you won't be able to return to the surface.
Yeah. That's kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
Oh, instead, Andy, can I read you an email?
Please do.
Thanks, everyone, for all your correspondence post Cheetah Girls 2. I want to read this email from Harriet, who writes, Hi. Thought you might appreciate this short, true Disneyland Paris story. I once saw Goofy kick a child. The end.
I think if there's
I did appreciate that, Harriet. Thank you.
I did appreciate that too. If there's a Disney character you least want to get kicked by, it's Goofy.
Do you reckon?
He's got those super long legs, yeah.
Long, weird legs. No, I'd at least like legs. To get kicked by Pluto, because... Oh, no, wait, Pluto in the park doesn't walk around on all fours, does he?
No.
I thought he would sort of trample you on all fours. There's a huge surface area and 3 pointy bits to Donald's legs.
That's true, but the big surface area would probably dissipate force a bit
cushion
more.
It. Yeah.
Mickey's only got spindly little legs. I think Goofy. He's got big long legs, big swing.
Yeah.
Catch you right in the crotch.
What about like Chip or Dale? Who I think are the ones most likely to kick you.
They're the most likely to kick you and probably do kick the most. But they've only got short little legs, so I don't think they could do much damage.
Yeah. I wonder why Goofy kicked a child. I hope he got in trouble.
Stealing all the Goofy candy.
I suppose we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Okay, thank you very much for that email. It really made me laugh. Brevity was truly inspiring. Thank you very much, Harriet. And if you want to write in with your thoughts... And I really, really want to know people's thoughts on this one. I really want, if you're listening and you are a history person, what's the word for that? Historian.
Historian, yeah. You know a lot about Arthurian myth and legend.
Yeah. Maybe you've got that kind of literary angle. If you have any idea why they're rinsing Whoopi Goldberg under a sort of
I'd love to know that.
Sluice. I would do even if you don't know, but you have a theory, please tell me. As of the time of recording the videos on YouTube, just skim through until you see the bit where she's roughly sluiced and tell me what you think is going on.
If you have a theory that isn't she's urinating in her armour and being sluiced out, then I would love to hear it.
Yeah, man. Okay. Andy?
Yep.
What decom are we going to do next?
Luke, next time we will be doing 2001's Max Keeble's Big Move.
Oh boy, I've seen this one. I remember it being very, very confusing.
Very confusing and poor.
But what's it about?
Max Keeble, the victim of his 7th grade class, plots revenge when he learns that he's moving. but it backfires when he isn't after all. Okay. So coming up next time, the incredible tale of a boy who's moving but then isn't.
But then isn't after all.
Oh man.
Oh my god, my stomach.
Okay.
We'll be back in a fortnight with that. But if you don't want to wait for more Mum Can't Cook, then don't. Instead, go to patreon.com/extra helpings, where you can sign up to our Patreon and get access to our fortnightly bonus feed. That means you get an episode of Mum Can't Cook every single week. The bonus feed at the moment is recapping a Disney Channel original TV show called So Weird. It is extremely funny, extremely weird. We've just finished part 2 of our recap of the one where everyone is a bee.
Yeah, it's a
in
bee.
a bee town. Everyone in a town gets turned into a bee. The show is so funny. The episodes are really fun to recap, and yeah, the feed is a great time. And that URL once more is patreon.com/extra helpings. It's just more of this. It's more of what you've just heard. So go get it.
We would love to see you there. We also have merch at mumcan'tcookstore.com or bonesforbowser.com if you want to pick up a t-shirt or a sticker, or you can get a bum bag or a fanny pack with dolphins on it there as well. So
do that.
Why not treat yourself to some Mum Can't Cook merch? And we will be back next time with Max Keeble's Big Move. All right, I don't think we've made too much noise podcasting here in this bush back in the medieval.
I don't think so.
Medieval times. And
right.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
wait a minute. Who's that up there on the battlements?
What is
on the ramparts? It's Merlin. He's he's sort of twirling and emitting a cloud of gas.
Okay. Do you think his magic is real? Or is he, as he is for 89 minutes of the runtime, a courtly fraud?
It's sort of impossible to tell. Oh no, here he's teleported into the bush and is now wearing modern clothes.
Yes, he's beckoning us into the starry abyss.
Well, into the multiverse. I guess we've got to go.
Yeah.
I guess we've got no choice. All right, well, we're heading off into this abyss, and we'll see you next time, folks.
Take it easy.
Hey, welcome in, everyone. We're just here in Whoopi Goldberg's time travel lab. She seems to have vanished.
That's weird.
Not really sure where she's ended up, but free time travel machine. So, great news, everyone. We're sending you out on some fun little time travel excursions. So if you want to just organise yourself into groups, you over there, Paul Stevens, Clint Hannah Lopez, Cara Dennison, Chris Pryor, Duchess, and Tim Craven, you'll be travelling back in time to 1889 to stop Mark Twain from writing a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court. Save us all a lot of trouble if you could just prevent that from happening. Thanks a lot. Off you go.
That would be ideal. Cole Mastro, Danny Cap, Who Needs to Sleep, Angel Beat, John Sharplin, and Snowy Owl. You will be dispatched to 65 million years ago, and you're going to use your modern brains and, I don't know, whatever you can find lying around to divert the meteor that's going to kill all the dinosaurs, thus enriching our modern life with the presence of dinosaurs.
Brilliant. Would appreciate that. Over here, Paul Stokes, Anna Petuhova, Adam Steele, Blake, Ethan Pearson, and Daniel Ingraham. You'll be going back in time to 1984 to witness the court of Michael Eisner, a modern-day Camelot.
Louise Lola, Chase Baker, Hef, Kyle Eads, Lord of the Salt Doctrine, and Simon Gansel. You will be dispatched back to, let's say, ancient Egypt. Feels good. I want you to just watch the pyramids being built and see if any aliens are there.
See if any aliens show up.
Yeah,
Great
just
stuff.
Report back if aliens did it, okay?
Yeah, do a sketch of it. Jonathan 420, Will Thomas, Michael Olsen, Jotham Von Clara, Tony B, and Ben from Finance. You're going to be going back to the early 2000s to witness Whoopi Goldberg's Universal Studios tour intro. They've taken it off now for some reason. As a result of this film, impossible to say.
Daniel Rogers, Crescentia Che, Philip Stevens, Rue Kyler, Ethan Lappin, and Adam Snigg. You are going to be dispatched to the green room of the Disneyland Paris studio backlot tour filming, where you will find Jeremy Irons in his jester costume and persuade him that he doesn't need to do this.
Danny Bowyer, Emily W, Julian Rundlet, Smash Savannah Burger Boys and Girl, Matt S, and Jeebus Piers Jones. You will be going back in time to actual 589 AD, where you will unfortunately not speak the language and die almost immediately. So apologies for that assignment, but good luck.
Sarah Matix, Will Pohoretsky, Hypermole, Andrew the Osteogent, Seish, and Kyle Bain. You will be dispatched back in time to the year 1999, the year after this film was made. You're going to go find Michael York and you're going to apologise. Say, from the future, we're sorry.
We know you didn't mean it. Adam, Cuddy Routh, Crapolio, Andy Meany, Jambo number 5, Moist Drippings and Business Corgi, you're going to be going back in time to yesterday when it was sunny. Just sort of enjoy that again.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Security James, Zora Stingray, Courtney Rail, Danny Ward, Ash and Shane Entei. We're going to send you back to the golden age of piracy. And I haven't really figured out a reason why. I just figure it'll be kind of cool. Like, I mean, you don't want to try and...
I mean, they don't all have to be important scientific missions, do they?
Yeah, you don't want to over-plan a pirate adventure. That's the thing. You kind of want to go with the flow a little bit. So go there, just go with the flow.
Just have a good time.
Yeah, the flow will probably take you into yellow fever or some kind of pox or straight into the Hangman's Noose.
But, you'll have a fun time getting there. All right, Megan Tors, Z-Man, Brandon Plesh, Book Monster, Jack Fabian, and E.T. You will be going forward in time to try and stop Luke and I from covering the Whoopi Goldberg movie Theodore Rex, to which I say, good luck.
Oh my gosh. Liz L, Ryan Medema, Quinn is Teething, Morven Butterworth, Surya Tess, and Christoph, you will be dispatched forward in time also to prevent the team of Megan Tors, Z-Man, Brandon Plesh, Book Monster, Jack Fabian, and E.T. from stopping us from reviewing the Whoopi Goldberg film Theodore Rex, because I want to do Theodore Rex. So if you could prevent them from stopping us, please. Thank you.
That would be great, yeah. Mike Kavanagh, Nurse Jake, Nerdazoid, Bracket Sean, Andy, Tilly Everoa, and Prince Reynards, you will be going back in time to 2009 and just pick us up some Bitcoin. Just pick some up, bring it back. We could do us a solid.
Get us a big old hard drive full of Bitcoin. Raging Angel, Elizabeth Saz Thompson, Clarky the Bearded Coach Driver, Rory James, Hannah Kirchner. You'll be heading to continental Europe, Renaissance era. I want you to tell Da Vinci about bored apes.
Get him going on those.
Get him going on NFTs, yeah. That way we can get it all out of our system real quick and things will probably be better in the modern day.
Sounds good. And finally we have Homemade Mask, Casper, Miriel, Michael Saul, Keith Hall, Autumn Holloway, Limited Patience, brackets Kiz, and The Monk. You'll be going back in time to the start of this bit to stop us from doing it. Thank you. Appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for being valued patrons and time travelers. Now into the portal, everyone.
In you go. Hoik.